Let me see what's going on. Can y'all hear us? Can y'all hear us? What's going on, people? I see Mark Wonderlist here early. What's up, Mark? Mark, hey man, is that you? I know you up there in Utah, man. I hope that's not you. That's not Mark Wonderlist. Don't come after Mark Wonderlist. I ain't see no picture. Harvey, they said there's a picture out there. Have you seen it? I ain't seen nothing. How about you?
I ain't seen nothing.
I ain't seen nothing. I can't tell. He looked like everybody to me. He looked like the dude from Blues Clues. He looked like the dude from Sesame Street. Shit, he looked like Charlie Sheen to me. I think they need to go get Charlie. What you think? What you think, huh?
I think the same way.
Man, they need to go ahead and go get, man. They need to get Charlie. That's Charlie Sheen. I don't care with nobody. I've seen that picture, but I ain't see that picture. That's Charlie Sheen. Sheen.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
I say what's up to Harvey family. We got my man Harvey, Mr. Superboy, in the building. I've been promising y'all we was gonna do something. He hit me up yesterday, and I was like, up. I gotta come back tomorrow strong with my big brother, man. With my good brother up in here, man.
Wow, man, it's been a
Man,
while.
it have, man. There's been so much crazy shit. Hulk Hogan kicked the bucket, brother. Did you? Oh, I wish I had you on here.
Oh, dude, man, I want to go in on him so bad. Let me tell you
I
something.
wish I had
Let
you
me tell you something, brother.
on here. I was
Let me tell you something,
right,
brother.
man. Look, I told everybody. I said, look. I said his last word was, "I still don't want Brooke to be with no niggas, brother, unless he's 8 foot tall, brother."
And you know what? It came out today. He left his little $5 million fortune to his son. She didn't get
Yeah,
not a penny. And that's the thing. She got a white man with white kids, but he was still mad at her because she messed around and let a couple of brothers touch her. Think about
yeah.
that. Think about that. That man, and make it so that he can barely walk the last few months of his life, but he went out with hell in him. Jesus,
I
man.
don't like you niggas, but buy my beer, brother. Ain't nobody buying that motherfucking redneck piss.
Yeah.
That's trailer piss. Don't nobody want no raccoon piss.
And make it so bad, man. You wait till you get 70-something years old and decide, I want to go into beer. That's how you think of this.
Right.
I'm gonna get y'all drunk when y'all can't function right. I mean, it's just amazing me how some people fall for the okey doke. Hogan, Trump, none of these motherfuckers don't like these poor people. So they say we gonna put poison. We look at y'all as nothing but a drunk bunch of poor rednecks, and they don't even see it. It's crazy.
Look, Harvey, he talk about he's selling beer at 70. Motherfucker, that don't go with your heart pills. We know damn well you can't. We know you can't drink that beer, brother. You done
Yeah,
done too many steroids, brother. It'll mess with your heart.
yeah, brother. I ain't drinking that shit. Let the mother motherfuckers drink it. Real American beer, man. Come on, man. You motherfuckers kill me how they wrap themselves around a flag, but these motherfuckers never serve in the military. Me and you serve, but they always wrap themselves in a flag and shit. They get the fuck out of here.
Right. This is real American beer made with raccoon and moose piss. Everybody, only real Americans drink this beer, this deer piss. It's made because they love deer. So it's
Yeah,
probably made out of deer piss. It should
they
taste like deer piss. I
love
don't
coming.
want that shit.
I got nothing but deer in my damn backyard, man. They having a field deer. Deer jerky, deer burgers,
Right.
deer sausage.
My father used to tell me, man, you get the fuck on away from me with that. Motherfucker, you don't even wash your hands. I seen you come out the pot. You wouldn't even you wouldn't even wash your hands. Fuck, I would look like getting some meat from you. That's what my father used to poison everybody. I don't know you like that. We just work together.
What gets me, man, is these motherfuckers. They always talking about somebody hygiene. I was back when I wasn't online. I had lost both of my aunts within a 2-month period. So you're driving down to Arkansas, man. You going to those Bucky gas stations, or they call them. These motherfuckers going to the bathroom. They got these little kids walking around barefoot with piss on the floor. They don't wash their hands. They didn't took a shit. They didn't took a piss. They walk like these motherfuckers don't wash their hands, and they be wondering why they got bacteria flesh eating diseases and shit.
Shit, Harvey, you ain't gotta go there. Look, I was just taking my granddaughter to the Montgomery County, Maryland Fair, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know Montgomery County, Maryland, that's where the Peckerwood and the immigrants who want to be whites start. So
Mm-hmm.
they had an old school fair out there. They got the rides, the carnival, the cotton candy, and all of that. And as you start walking through, right, they got pigs, horses, goats, bunnies that you can buy, and all of that shit. Now, keep in mind, all that's there. Then it's a bathroom. And just like you said, you'll see kids, you done seen them touch a rabbit, a goat, and then their parents will walk them straight to get to past the bathroom and go get them a cotton candy.
Corn dog. Some pop.
Yeah, shit that you got to eat with your hands.
Ice
A
cream.
slice of pizza. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, nah. Yeah, me and my granddaughter, we done went to the bathroom 4 different times to wash our hands.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get into the bathroom, like you said, little motherfucker done peed, walked straight out. Little motherfucker, he got on flip-flops, and he done kicked the flip-flops off, walking. I'm like, why is he walking around? It's a fair. It ain't no pool out here. Why don't he got shoes on? White folks let their kids do that.
Man, I have
Charlie Kirk, big baseball mitt head ass probably used to do that.
I'm pretty sure he did, man. And you remember Charlie Kirk even said something about black people hygiene, but you got white folks on the internet talking about I don't use a washcloth. I just let the water and soap roll down my body. I wash my hair once a month. We wonder why they smell like dogs.
Lisa Cabrera did a thing.
Mm-hmm.
I remember Lisa did a video. The motherfucker Travis Kelce said he don't wash his feet because the water runs down there nowhere. Anyway, I was like, what? You funky feet motherfucker, you.
Why do you think they be
You don't scrub the dirt from between your nasty ass toes?
Why you think they be walking around with prosthetics? It's videos on YouTube and Facebook where they got them toes like their nails and grew up. I'm like, how they fucking got all that fungus on their toes? I'm not saying that black folk can't get sick, but at least we got some decorum. We ain't showing that shit. These always, I want my steak medium rare. No, I cook my shit, man. I ain't eat no half cooked meat. These motherfuckers, man.
Right, I've been saying the same thing to them. Like, motherfucker, I'd go bite a cow if that was the case. I'm not biting no fucking cow. Cook my shit.
They don't want to pasteurize milk, risk their lives, and they wonder why they be like, I'm sick, doc. What's wrong with me? You're dying. What did I do? You ain't taking care of your body properly.
No, this is what you did. You listen to a motherfucker that talk like this, Harvey. I'm saying what you want to do, the best thing for you. You should drink raw milk with goat shit in it. Goat shit has all the nutrients to make you feel so much better. If that's the motherfucker you taking your health advice from, you probably in trouble.
What do you mean? Oh, we don't believe in getting shots, vaccinated. You know, it just is. You know, everybody's over medicated. Says the man that grew up with a silver spoon in his mouth. So I guarantee you, if he gets sick, he asks those same doctors, do whatever you got to do, doctor, save me. I'm pretty sure if his father didn't get assassinated and they had a treatment, he'd have been yelling, do everything to save my dad. But he's going to tell
do everything to save. Do everything to save. Everything.
Go ahead, brother.
No, go ahead.
No, I'm not going to finish your thought, brother.
No, I was about to say. I was about to get on. I was about to get on with the get on. I was about to say. So basically, Harvey, we know what that happened yesterday. Old Ketzel's men head caught a yacht to the neck.
Beavis and
Look,
butt.
in the, we say,
Look like Beavis and Butthead.
yep, yeah, you know, he caught one to the neck. So look here. People get shot every day, B. You tough, right? Ain't that what Cameron said?
And even, but this is the irony. He even said it himself that you need a few people to die from gun death. It's acceptable. So I guess he would be acceptable for his own death, right? Think about it.
He should be.
He
He
should.
should be. He was good with it. That's the
Yeah.
type of stuff he liked.
But what gets
He
me, bro,
said he was good.
this dude espoused violence. He was only 31. Think about that. 31 years old. When me and you was in high school, he was still in diapers taking dumps. Young. He looked older than me and you. And every day he
Yes,
had hatred.
every day.
Actually, I think empathy is a made-up New Age term that does a lot of damage, but I can't stand the word empathy. Actually, I think empathy is a made-up New Age term that does a lot of damage, but
So
that's just ironic, ain't it?
I mean, for people who, because yesterday I had trolls coming on here mad at me because I was talking about this white on white crime the day after Charlie Kirk said that the black man who was obviously crazy stabbed that white lady on the train. He did it because she was white. What? I was about to say that don't really happen.
No.
Like
Most black people
that
try to avoid fucking with white folk if it's possible.
exactly, because we know that's a charge that you're not gonna shake.
Nope.
Johnny Cochran is dead. We understand. Why you think we cheered what happened with OJ? We didn't cheer OJ. We cheered that Johnny Cochran was that brilliant to beat the system. But y'all killed him. Now niggas is going to jail. We understand that, don't we?
Exactly. But you know what that thing Charlie Kirk was talking about that, and this what gets me. They were stoking up that what it is, they don't want the elections to go out, number one. That's number one. Number two, they know they done fucked up the last 9 months. And the last 9 months, the black community has been really quiet. They've been poking at us every week. Every week they didn't try something. They didn't try something, the Black Lives Matter mural. They didn't try something in museums. They didn't try something, the government jobs and everything. So they said, how do we get these niggers out in the street? We know, bring the military in. Oh, that ain't work. So what we got to do? We got to go find a white woman that got hurt by one of them. It's obvious that brother wasn't playing with a full deck if you looked at him. Now they met the people who were sitting there. Most people, they was in shock when that happened, number one. And number two, most people don't say, look, that motherfucker got a weapon. Because didn't a black woman get cut, stabbed, and killed a couple of years back when that white guy had a big-ass knife on that train system? And a white guy tried to save him, and he died in the process.
Yep.
You don't forget
and then
about
it was another pecker. What about the Peckerwood that was running around New York just shanking people with a machete?
Yeah. Or the white guy just last month was in a Walmart stabbing, walking, standing around the people, and it took a black man to take him down.
Yep. And that dude that was shanking people, he was shanking homeless black people. I think that's how they caught him. One of them fought him off before he died. It kind of gave him a description of who and what they was looking for.
Mm-hmm.
But it's ironic, like you said, that the irony gets laid on now that Charlie Kirk literally died dog whistling, and now they're trying to rebrand him, and they want us to have sympathy for him. But again, let's see what Charlie Kirk think about sympathy. Let's go. My bad. I'm
stand the
sorry.
word empathy. Actually, I think empathy is a made-up New Age term that does a lot of damage, but I can't stand the word empathy. Actually, I think empathy is a made-up New Age term that does a lot of damage, but
I mean that's from his mouth, y'all. That's from his mouth. We ain't got to feel sorry for him. All of this, his wife his kids. This, like our brother Harvey said, because I come with receipts today. This man spent his whole entire career demonizing people who,
in my personal opinion and based on every objective analysis, he actually gave us more race focus and less emphasis on character and conduct. Because here we are 60 years later. Do we talk about race less or more in the last couple of decades? I'm not only blaming MLK for this, but his core driving philosophy was not about a colorblind society. That is a line in one of his speeches. He would actually be closer to a race Marxist, almost akin to a DEI type philosopher if you go deep into his writings, especially later in his life. So, and I think we as conservatives and Christians must reconsider some of the mythologies and some of the icons and the symbols that we hold up, especially as we try to reorient ourselves in a broken culture.
Oh boy. Every time I hear him talk about Dr. King, I'm reminded that Dr. King had a family. Matter of fact, last year when his son died of cancer, Dexter body wasn't even cold 24 hours. He was talking shit about Dexter King and his father, who was assassinated trying to mend bridges between black folk and white folk. So then for him to get shot in a very similar fashion to Dr. King is karmatic justice.
and we literally, it's a white supremacist lady that got video on YouTube talking about this, the modern day Martin Luther King assassination. Huh?
Wow.
Bitch, how?
King tried to bring people together. This motherfucker divide. I don't see how, but see, they can't even come up with nothing original. They can't even find a white person they can prep up or hype up as a bridge builder. They got to come into our community. The very people that they criticize and compare with, that don't make no sense, does it?
No, because they ain't got no heroes. I understand.
They ain't got no. They
ain't got no heroes. And every last one of them is a degenerate in some type of way. It's just one time he did something good.
I saw people say he got.
Think about it. Abraham Lincoln is a piece of shit. You know that. I know that. Abraham Lincoln is really a piece of shit. But based on the one thing he did, where he really didn't even do a good job with that.
No.
They lionize him. But they can't really tell you what other good thing he did other than to say, hey, blacks, if you fight and help us win the war, y'all can be free. Because that's all Abraham Lincoln said.
But they leave out the part that Abraham said, he said, if I could send them back to Africa, I would. They leave that part out of the story. And guess how?
If all I had to free was one slave to bring the Union back, that's what I would do.
Mm-hmm. But we tried to tell them, people think we don't know what's going on around us. You heard the videos, but I've talked about Charlie Kirk before. I said, I'm going to get him. I said, it's going to come back and bite us. I said, it may happen today, it may not happen tomorrow. But when I heard he got shot, I chuckled a little bit. Not because I was happy, but I said, I called it once again. Remember, he disrespected Trayvon Martin, Breonna Taylor, Arbery,
Mike Brown.
He was cracking on brother Michael Jackson. That man been dead a number of years. Let that man live. But he knows that he can push our buttons. He talked about Michelle Obama. He talked about the late sister Sheila Jackson Lee when she died. He called what's the old sister in the Supreme Court? Called her a DEI.
Yeah, he called him DEI. Look, whether you like the people.
Go ahead, brother.
No, I was saying whether they like the people or not is irrelevant. We know that what he said was cloaked in nothing but hate. And let me see if I could chalk up one more on the D.
Aware that you were trying to get the officer who murdered George Floyd pardoned, and I just want to know what your reasoning was about that.
Well, George Floyd didn't die because of the police officer. He died largely because of a drug overdose.
But he had his knee on his neck. We all saw the video.
But the knee on the neck is actually an approved police technique that police departments taught Derek Chauvin to use.
Do you know that George Floyd was saying, "I couldn't breathe," well before that restraining technique? And
so why'd they use the technique if he already couldn't breathe?
Well, because he was actually resisting arrest, and they had to restrain him. And they restrained him in a way that they were taught to do, which is the knee on the neck technique.
Okay, so when does the like technique end? Like when they die? Like he said he couldn't.
No, I mean the technique ends when the individual stops resisting arrest. His cause of death was not asphyxiation; it was drug overdose. He had
that was a part of it. Like he also had a heart like thing, and like he was on drugs, but like he wouldn't have just died if he was standing there. Like they had his.
Well, actually, there's an argument to be made. According to the medical examiner, he was drug overdosing in real time. That it wasn't because of the police officer that put his knee on the neck. And again, they were taught to do that. According to the Hennepin County Police Department, they teach that as an approved restraint technique. And by the way, this is just a broader point. Our whole country blew up because of this incident, and it was largely based on a lie. Largely based on a lie. We were all.
What was the lie?
The lie is that there was a white police officer that went after a black person just because he was black, and it just wasn't true. He was resisting arrest.
Okay, but he killed him. Like that doesn't.
Well, again, the county medical examiner disagrees. The county medical examiner in the original report.
So then why was he? Why did he get sentenced?
Exactly.
Like,
that's a good
no,
question.
I'm saying.
It's because it was largely a show trial where actually they were not allowed to submit
what
evidence.
Trial?
A show trial. A show trial is an example where you put people on display or a show for a political purpose or political means. And this is an example of that, where Derek Chauvin was not given a fair hearing in this trial. He was not even allowed to use the police training handbook in his trial to show that he was taught to use that restraining technique.
Okay, so what do you want to happen to Derek Chauvin? Like,
pardon.
So he's just free? What is that?
Yes.
What message does that send to like?
It should be. It's a message that you should get an actual fair trial and that you're not going to get a trial by media.
I'm glad this motherfucker dead. I'm sorry. I'm trying to be the bigger person. This motherfucker think that we wasn't watching that trial. George Floyd went in and they said the reason why he got called, he passed a bogus bill, counterfeit. Maybe he didn't. But when the police came up to him, they pulled him out of his vehicle. I guess he forgot that we watched the whole video. They pulled him out. Yep. The cops was the aggressors. That's why Chauvin got to jail. He said the country blew up. It was a damn pandemic. Motherfuckers went crazy after being in the house about 3 weeks. They didn't go out there and protest because of Floyd. They went out there because they wanted to get out the house. Because the following year, when it was the year anniversary, nobody even mentioned George Floyd.
Exactly.
He's asked. Go ahead. I'm sorry, brother.
I'm about to say, in fact, the minute after it happened, Harvey, that same Peckerwood was out there pushing the narrative that he was a drug addict and he died of a heart attack and a drug overdose before anybody said anything anyway.
And that young sister, she meant well, but even she got misinformation. She didn't ball into the drug thing. The man was on his neck. He looked at the camera. People said, "You on his neck." He looked directly in the camera like whatever. The coroner. You think a white man gonna go out here and throw another white man on the bus for shits and giggles? Fuck no. They called. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, I thought we cut off. Go ahead.
What it is that they want to relitigate because they felt there was a loss. Ahmaud Arbery, when those white guys chased him down, they figured that was one too many losses. That's why they did Breonna Taylor the way they did, because technically them cops should be in jail for what they did. They don't. The ideal that somebody got in jail. That's why they did Laquan McDonald dirty. We saw that child get shot down like an animal, and the jury said, "Okay, we're gonna send this motherfucker to jail." And the judge said, "Nah, we're gonna stop him on the wrist." That motherfucker back over on the south side, living there, all white neighborhood on the south side with all the firefighters and police. But we supposed to be have hearts and sympathies for this bastard. He went to colleges. He didn't argue no adults. He argued college age students who still live in a protective setting. They haven't had the experiences you and I. Where if he was a real bull, he would have went to black colleges and debated black folk. then I would have looked at him in a different light. But he went somewhere where he knew he
Right.
could make the conversation. Charlie Kirk was a college dropout. And only reason why he got married, had kids, because the motherfucker was making money. That man, he got hit with a bag of fuck me ups. Ugly big ass
Right.
motherfucker.
Big catcher's mitt head motherfucker. Shouts out to Mark Wonderlist. I had to put this on the screen. All for a fake bill some store probably gave him. See,
Exactly.
I'm glad Mark brought that up, Harvey. Thank you. Harvey, I wanted to point that out. I'm glad he said that. Cause look, how many random white guys do y'all think go to jail for having one counterfeit bill?
No.
How many times do you think the store calls the police on one random white guy? That's what I was telling people. I was like, no matter how you slice George Floyd, it was fuckery all the way around. Yeah, he had a counterfeit 20. All right, I get to you that I never saw. But where did he get it from? Did he have a pocket full of counterfeit 20s? Or was that his last 20? And he was just trying to spend his last 20.
I give you
How
example.
you know? You could have got that in the street
Or
and
fact,
had a whole bunch of other money and didn't never spend that. Had your last 20 and then found out it was fake.
he could have got it. I'm gonna tell you, I work in fast food, and usually they don't like some fast food. They don't like you when you take a 20 or a 50. They got a marker that you swipe.
Yeah.
This counterfeit. When people used to come in to when I was a crew member, they told us anytime you get a 20 or 50, you take that marker and you swipe. If it turns a certain color, it's bad. And they just tell you to keep it to the person, hey man, this is counterfeit. And you show it to them. Most motherfuckers will drive off and run away. Because that's a crime. That's a what an FEC, what's that? A bank crime.
Yeah.
You pass
Yeah,
it.
FDIC. Yeah, that could be a federal crime.
Federal crime. So if George Floyd knew he had a counterfeit, 9 times out of 10, he would have done it because you're going into a foreigner and they already don't trust us. You call the cops on a man. No, because everybody know if you call the cops on a black person, especially a black man, they come with guns ablaze. They ain't asking no questions.
Right. So think about it, y'all. George, I always thought about that, Harvey.
Me too.
George never ran after he gave him that money. He just walked out the store like, oh, it was counterfeit.
And sat in his SUV, and the cops came and pulled him out. And what made it so bad, Charlie Kirk acted like he was fighting back. No, he was begging for him. He was calling out for his mama. You know, for a grown ass man to call out for his mama, he knew he was gonna die. The man killed himself. People forget that.
Mm-hmm.
So for Charlie to sit there and turn around and say, oh, he died because of drugs, you play into a stereotype that all black men and drugs, when we know more white folk take drugs than anything.
Yeah.
But they don't call
it
it's
unimpeded. I was about to say, and it's unimpeded. Well, Sky Daddy knows all about the opioid, young Harvey. I give it to the white man so he feels good.
Yes.
For white Jesus blessed them with the opioid. That's what they say. Let there be school shootings, Harvey.
Yes, yes, brother. School shootings.
I'm trying to tell you, that's what white Jesus believed.
Yeah.
No, get that immigrant bastard the hell out of my territory. For that is what Jesus believed.
And what gets me, brother, yesterday, it was a school shooting going on right when he got murdered. But his last murder was
shit about it.
Us under the bus.
3 kids got shot. They try to figure out. Y'all know, chat. Y'all know. Me and Harvey was talking about it earlier because we both saw it together. Do y'all know that fucking they are threatening black colleges right now?
Yeah.
Like black colleges are on lockdown because of Charlie Kirk. It wasn't a nigga there. I don't even think it was no chocolate milk out there, Harvey.
No.
That place was so white, it wasn't chocolate milk out there. I don't think nobody other than the shooter was wearing black. who again is Charlie Sheen. If everybody can see that is Charlie Sheen.
I'm sorry. You know what popped in my head? Men.
It will be men in jail once they figure out that that's him. That's what he's gonna be surrounded by when they lock his ass. Men. He damn you right. You
I
right.
keep
You
it the note.
motherfucker right.
I keep it the damn note. Men.
Motherfucker right.
But what gets me, he goes to the whitest, probably one of the whitest states in America. And y'all, they online mad at us. But everybody knew it was a white dude. I want you to think about this. The old white man said he did it, but he said, I'll do it again. Come to find out, he didn't even do it. So it had to be planned or something. And they saw the dude, this video, you see him run across the damn roof of the building. He got away.
Yep.
And the FBI
got away.
He's still out large. Now, if that was us, they would have called us like that. We would have never got out of that.
Well, first of all, Harvey, that's the go-to, the cross-eyed. We got a cross-eyed half-wit. That's the motherfucker. Have you seen the picture of Patel, haven't you?
Yeah, when he's taking a picture, like he's looking in a different direction when he's actually looking straight.
Now, you think how he gonna catch somebody? He don't know where they at.
Welcome to the FBI. How can I help you?
Right. Then they fired everybody. They fired all the white people who really they fired everybody.
I'm glad you brought that up because I was telling my aunt this morning. I said they fired everybody that was qualified to investigate. Now they say they need help. You didn't get rid of everybody.
They damn sure have it. Them motherfuckers. Look, the little Indian lady said, "Fuck you. You fired me because I was Indian and a lady. I'm not coming back."
Like at the VA, man, they fire all these people at the VA, right? So yes, they look, and I see they put out a message. They need nurses. My friend was a nurse out there. They fired her ass. Now they asking people to come back. These motherfuckers are idiots. These people, let me tell you something. To the black folks that said don't vote, you guys have contributed to this shit as well, folks. Y'all done put a bunch of morons into power. They don't care about anybody. They know they done fucked up in 9 months. They done fucked this country up. Now they trying to shift blame by we gotta go protect the poor white woman that got stabbed. Now they trying to make Charlie Kirk out to be a martyr. This is by design, folks. They ain't got nothing else to do but manipulate the masses of idiots in this country.
That's why, Mark Wunderlich, even if you wrong, you're right when you say, I believe the government is involved. Even if they didn't shoot them, they involved right now. This rebranding and rewashing, I say, ain't this a bitch? They doing the same thing they did to Martin Luther King, except it's bad both ways, but this was a bad guy they trying to lionize, where for Martin Luther King was a great man who they try to diminish and whitewash and turn into a few phrases.
And what gets me, they telling us that we should be compassionate. Like I was watching the news coverage yesterday. I'm like, everybody at the time, like they wanted to cry, like Megyn Kelly and Glenn Beck, they cried, oh, I believe Charlie. And I'm like, didn't y'all just sit there and say y'all glad that other people are suffering? These are motherfuckers that actually said they glad that people lost their jobs, that people are suffering. But now we supposed to have sympathy for somebody who said on YouTube, let this motherfucker have a channel where he said shit about us every day. If I see a black pilot, I get nervous. But y'all don't talk about the white guys that get caught all the time being drunk.
Oh, you know they scrubbing the internet right now. I had to look and find a lot of this shit that I found, y'all. They're literally scrubbing the internet of all of the heinous shit he said. But he said so much. Other white people.
I mean, I'm looking at Politico.com. I'm looking at the New York Times. I'm looking at all these places, and There's a little bit of mention here. For example, Politico says top Republicans reject any link between GOP rhetoric and Paul Pelosi assault. Of course you should reject any link. Why is the Republican Party, why is the conservative movement to blame for gay schizophrenic nudists that are hemp jewelry makers breaking into somebody's home, or maybe not breaking into somebody's home? Why are we to blame for that exactly? And why is he still in jail? Why has he not been bailed out? By the way, if some amazing patriot out there in San Francisco or the Bay Area wants to really be a midterm hero, someone should go and bail this guy out. I bet his bail's like 30 or 40,000 bucks. Bail him out and then go ask him some questions.
Now they telling you, don't be politically violent, this, that, and the third, because of what happened to Charlie Kirk. He just sat up there and said that it's okay to beat Paul Pelosi half to death in his house. And not only that, they should bail the guy out. And we supposed to look for Charlie Sheen? Charlie, man, I know that's you, but I ain't gonna tell that that's you, Charlie. So I'm just trying to figure out how. Help me understand. How is it last night Donald Trump basically said anybody talking shit about Charlie Kirk and anybody that's left wing, so that means anybody black. You know, if you black and you speak in freedom, you are a left winger, whether you know it or not. White people tell me that all the time, that I'm on the left. I didn't even know I was on the left. I just thought I was a nigga in America. So,
I'm gonna read something now. I'm not gonna call out the person who just sent me a message. There's a friend of mine. This person said the man lost his life because he thought differently than others. Freedom of speech is for everyone, not just those we agree with. It's tragic that he lost his life. His wife lost her husband. His children lost a father because he had an unpopular opinion. I didn't know the guy, but he was a fellow human being that didn't need to die. Now, let me say this to my brothers and sisters. This is a black person. If you don't know about Charlie Kirk, don't be giving him grace, because he will not give you grace. This will bother me about our people. We've been conditioned to always forgive. A lot of black folks, if you go online, they say they didn't even know who he was, and that's a possibility, because some of our people are oblivious to shit. But if they do half the shit that you just showed a tip, you didn't get into the nitty gritty of all the stuff he said. This man rationalized us.
Harvey, I think we owe it to that person. If that person is listening, I want that person to listen to what Charlie Kirk would say to him. I think we should do that.
Yeah.
What would Charlie
Empathy,
say?
actually, I think empathy is a made-up New Age term that does a lot of damage, but I can't stand the word empathy, actually. I think empathy is a made-up New Age term that does a lot of damage, but
Charlie, what'd you say, Charlie? I couldn't hear you, baby. What'd you say? Say it again, man.
I mean, I'm looking at Politico.com. I'm looking at the New York Times.
No, not that one. Not that one.
Actually, I think empathy is a made-up New Age term that does a lot of damage, but I can't stand the word empathy, actually. I think empathy is a made-up New Age term that does a lot of damage, but...
So why is this guy doing what Charlie would totally hate? Why should I show any empathy to him as a fellow human being when he has said some of the most vile things in the world, and then said that to double down, not double down, triple down? He always doubles down on anything racist he says. He didn't get killed. We don't even know who the fuck killed him. So we don't know if he got killed for a diversity of opinion. The people who tried to snipe Trump were actually Trump supporters who had became delusional with the things he was saying and realized that he was full of shit and he wasn't going to do half the things he said. And then some of the things he was doing, he said, wasn't the way they thought it was going to be.
Let me read this to you. Things to remember about Charlie Kirk. He said it was a huge mistake to pass the Civil Rights Act in 1964. You think about it. Prior to 1964, blacks can go into certain businesses, can move into certain neighborhoods, and it took 1968 before it became an actual law, fair housing. But think about it. My parents, who are baby boomers, no longer here. They had to live, they had to stay in certain neighborhoods. White folks and others would come in and terrorize our parents, okay? But we couldn't go back and do anything, so we just had to take their abuse. Black people marched. Little boys and little girls had got bit by dogs and fire hoses. He said it was the Civil Rights Act of 1964 was a mistake. He said he blamed Jewish money for ruining American culture. I can't really argue with him on that one, but he said,
I ain't got much to say about that. I read that one earlier today myself.
You read that one, yeah. But then he said endorsed it, putting gay people to death. Now you got gay folks out here defending him. I'm like, y'all really haven't paid attention to what this dude has been saying. Then check this out. You had Matthew Dowd used to be with the Bush administration on MSNBC, said Charlie Kirk had it coming. He constantly pushed his sort of hate speech aimed at certain groups. And I always go back to hateful thoughts lead to hateful words, which often then, and they fired him for being honest. They don't even want white folks to be honest about it. They fired him. Then you had Don Lemon. Don Lemon was talking to this white guy, I forget his name. He wears a cap. He does this podcast, and Don was up there even trying to give him grace. I'm like, Don.
Ben Shapiro. Ben
Shapiro. There's another Jewish dude, but he leans to the left. But Ben Shapiro.
Not Ben Shapiro. No, not Ben Shapiro. His name is Shapiro. Because I called in a couple of times. Brian Shapiro.
Yeah, you want to talk about Brian Shapiro. Yeah. And I'm watching him and Dunn give Dunn giving him grace. I said when Dunn lost his job, Charlie Kirk, right along with Megan Kelly, we glad. And he said, well, Don Lemon's getting payback because he's gay. I don't know why when somebody died. Now, look, if somebody died who didn't do anything, didn't deserve it, I understand giving them grace and respect. But when somebody made millions of dollars, made he left Chicago to go to Arizona, because we know how to get down in Arizona.
Yeah.
He left here to go. Then you had the owner of the Cubs, the Ricketts family, come out and say a message. So now I don't feel bad about not being a Cubs fan anymore. It proves my point. Y'all coming out here defending this dude who was openly racist. Martin King. This is why I tell people, stop telling me y'all like Dr. King. Because if you like Dr. King, you would have checked his ass when he's talking shit about Dr. King. And it's
about him the whole time.
You wouldn't let him sit there.
Hold up, Harvey. I gotta get this in real quick. I'm gonna let you keep spitting heat.
Yeah, go ahead on.
That motherfucker Cenk Uygur, you helped normalize him by when he was saying some of the most inflammatory racist shit ever. And during the Biden election, y'all sat down and had an old friendly interview. Then you go to Turning Point USA, the same motherfuckers that had Klansmen marching around my job down here and by the National Harbor. Look, they tried to have one here at my job. I talked to some people who I knew was high up, told them what they was about, and they canceled it. I said, I don't think that's cool. You got all these blacks, Latinos, Filipinos working here, and then what you gonna do at the end is invite a right-wing place that's talking about deporting them, and we deserve to get killed by the police. That's how we want to be represented as a company. And the lady, look, I said, Turner Points USA. I know what that is. I said, they had the Klan marching through here. After me going back and forth, they canceled the contract with them. I was shocked. Oh, your boy does some shit, y'all. Don't think I'm just some regular little old. No, I am a regular person just like you. I got a job, I got bills, I got problems, all of that shit. But at the same time, whatever difference I can make, I'm going to try to make. I'm not going to be scared or silenced because, oh, I might end up broke. Guess what? You can't do nothing to a nigga that's already been broke. How you gonna make me poor? I grew up poor.
Bro,
We gonna send you back to the hood. I'm gonna fuck you up. I never left.
Brother, let me tell you something. Let me tell you, me and you, we didn't go to no universities, right? But we got common sense. We pick up a book, we read, we know history. Now me and you got more knowledge than Charlie Kirk is, but he dropped out of college and he was allowed to go on university, spread this poison to these young men and young women. Now when me and you came to go back and talk to our own schools in our neighborhood, talking to the young brothers and sisters about how to navigate life and shit, but they let this motherfucker go on colleges across America and spread hate.
Look, Harvey, I do you one better. I'm right here by Howard. Brother, they wouldn't let my monkey ass walk around the campus without stopping me 3 or 4 times. You don't go here. What you doing here? You know somebody here? Why are you here? So, shit, you talking about being able to speak to them. Shit, they made Frances Cress Welsing speak at 8 and 9 o'clock at night. And sometimes would bump her speeches.
Yep. And she was highly
I know.
She was a psychiatrist. She wrote the ISIS papers and all that shit.
Bruh, I was one of her patients. I know. I was one of her patients. I can tell you where the office was. I know what it looked like. I can tell you everything we talked about because we never talked about, we talked about me once. We talked about black people and the plight of freeing our people. And she told me she wanted me to write a book. She wanted me to come down and see some of her speech, and then she had died.
Wow. And I never
But
that handkerchief head, what's his name? What's the name?
Mark Lamoy's head.
He threw
Mark Lamoy's head. Yeah. Threw it under the bus.
And I want to mention something before we go on about Cenk Uygur and Anna Kasparian. Didn't I warn y'all about them for the last decade?
Go ahead, brother.
Didn't I tell y'all it was racist? Nah, brother,
Indeed, you did.
And I was right. These motherfuckers showed
up
around November, and everybody like Cenk and Anna sold out. No, they always was like that. Y'all see,
they was always like that. Yeah.
People don't listen. See, the problem is black folk. In order for us to survive in this society, we always got to be paying attention. We always, if you don't, we slip up, we screwed. I told y'all, I said, y'all links. I said, y'all go back and listen. I just say, go back and listen to what they said. You got Anna on CNN talking about anti-Semitism, but yet wasn't she the one saying that black folks are anti-Semitic? But now she's against you. But I told people, I was on Fanbase. I said, ain't it funny that everybody was saying we anti-Semites because we was warning people about certain groups of people, how they do shit. Now they all like they warriors. I said, y'all owe Farrakhan an apology. Y'all owe the black community an apology. We warned y'all. We told y'all. We've been warning y'all. We told y'all about Charlie Kirk. We didn't told y'all about Trump. Long as black folks are suffering, everybody got to laugh. Everybody got a hard on. But when they start feeling it, oh my gosh, we got to do something. Not we, you do. And the Democrats have showed their ass. When Charlie Kirk was out there and them spreading all their hate, not one time did I hear them say, yo, man, you can't talk about people like that. But as soon as people start saying we don't feel sympathy for them, you got Whoopi Goldberg of all people them saying, we should be, he had a wife and kids. We should be preaching hate. He made his fortune off hate.
What you think he was teaching his wife and kids, bitch?
Exactly.
What type of shit is that? See, that's why I don't like Whoopi old motherfucking used mop head ass. Bitch, what you mean? What you think that little bitch gonna grow up to be another Marjorie Taylor Greene? You talk about his daughters. What? New Marjorie Taylor and Lauren Boebert? We don't need another one of them. We don't need no new Megyn Kellys. No.
I tell you, they're gonna be worse because the mama gonna raise them because we know how they get down. And then if the mom get remarried, because she will get remarried. You know, because she gonna get the insurance money, because they gonna, and Trump gonna give him a Freeman Medal. Freeman Medal for what? These devils are spitting in our face, and you got Caucasians and these opportunists telling us, nah, we got to be the bigger person. Like hell,
Man, this type of shit. This the type of see. That's what I'm saying. They working on this rebranding shit, and it's about to make me vomit. It's
yeah.
about to make me vomit.
And to see the Democrats, and I'm not a Democrat. And I want to make sure everybody understand I am not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I'm an independent. And when I mean independent, I'm an independent thinker. I think about what's best for me and my people. But the thing is right now, watching everybody on TV, if you notice when white folk get murdered, they tone change. Oh my gosh, he was a father. His children gonna grow out of debt. But when black folks get killed, well, you know, we heard they got a record, you know, and whatever. And you know what I mean? They, like, look what happened in Ohio when old white Russians attacked them black folks. And everybody thought the black folks, and I'm like, y'all really don't know black folk. Black folk don't go around fucking white folk like that. If a black person do, they gotta be a mental health issue or a hardcore criminal who don't give a fuck. No random black person, right. They're gonna try to avoid shit that you keep pushing buttons. Everybody, the Trump came out. Everybody, these people, they just beat these poor white folk. Then when the story came out, you know, they don't talk about this shit anymore.
You know what I end up saying to him? I hope this is the right one, y'all. This is what I end up saying to him.
The nerve of this cracker.
That's what I say.
I remember this. You should put that down.
The nerve of this cracker.
You should put that one down when he said, "You make me sick with that." What you saying?
Yeah, you make me sick to my stomach with that. You weren't fighting for me. Call them cocksuckers out.
But you know,
that
this will get me. Now, I'm not defending what Sean Diddy did to his ex, right? Because she was no angel. But they did everything they power to say Diddy is evil, he's reprehensible. But last night, a dude that sat out here and preached hate across the board, they tried to sanitize. They tried to rebrand him as a martyr. Poor Charlie. I'm pretty sure he said nigga when he wasn't off on camera. But
all the damn time.
You know he said it. You know this is rhetoric. But you know what? The chef's kiss, and y'all gonna say I shouldn't say this, but the chef's kiss was yesterday. He died trying to do spam black folk. When he said, the pop.
Yep. They was laughing about that yesterday. I laughed about that. You know what that? Look, he was trying to sit there and talk about black people, and he ain't know that bullet hit him. That bullet said this to him, Harvey.
Who you talking to, Peckerwood?
I miss Brother Khalid. I miss him. And you know what? Last night, maybe my spirit was talking to me. I watched Malcolm X last night. You know, on YouTube, they do those reaction videos. And I watched white folks' reaction to them. And there's one white guy said, I never knew this. I never knew. They didn't teach us this. When Malcolm X said, chickens coming home to roost. I thought about they said, chickens coming home make me glad. Never make me sad.
Yeah, never made me sad. He's sitting up here wanting us to cry for a cracker who sat there his whole career, y'all. His whole career was dedicated. He made money. He made millions. Like Harvey said, he left Chicago. I'm telling y'all, he was renting out halls here in D.C., renting out the whole Gaylord. That's what most of the Turning Pack USA. Y'all, he had the Gaylord pack with so many white supremacists. It was a Klansman walking around in a full robe in black-ass Prince George's County. And he almost got beat to death.
And the guy that he helped, the co-founder, he died of COVID. So you got the two dudes that went out and told people, don't wear no masks, don't get no vaccinations. They both died from the monster they created. Charlie Kirk, he
And
basically killed himself. He committed suicide, in my opinion.
yeah, because he was the same one that said he was willing, that taking a bullet or people having to die is worth being able to have non-restrictive gun laws. So, thanks to non-restrictive gun laws, he had to take one for the. He lived. Look, Harvey, it always come off wrong when it comes from us because we just gonna come off as the angry black guy. So I found a friend, Harv. I found a friend, and I'm gonna let him. We're gonna give him the floor, Harvey, for 6 minutes. I'm gonna put it on mute because I think you're gonna laugh too. So just check this out. I want y'all to listen. I found because it doesn't come off palatable. Us two black men, we former veterans. We didn't harm our community. We help out. That don't matter. We still gonna be the angry black man. So I figured it out. So y'all check this out.
And I don't know what to think about this whole Charlie Kirk situation, y'all. I mean, I've been doing some thinking on it and looking around, seeing what other people are saying, seeing what's going on here. They ain't caught the dude, And I mean, there's a whole lot of people with a whole lot of ideas about this whole thing, And I've got my own ideas too. I think everybody does. And there's a bunch of misinformation going around too about it. And I can tell you some big information or disinformation going on. That governor of Utah, he was spreading out some disinformation right off the jump, He said that Charlie Kirk feller, he was loved by everybody. That's what that governor said. He was loved by everybody. And I'm like, that right there's some misinformation because he wasn't loved by everybody, because he was a racist, misogynistic, homophobic, xenophobic dick is what he was. And so not everybody loved him. And the thing is, somebody in particular really didn't love him at all, didn't have no love. None, had negative love for the dude, and you can tell by the way that it is. So that he definitely wasn't loved by everybody. So that was some misinformation there. And then, well, Team Taco, y'all, you fake ass patriots, you're going around and saying that this Democrats, the violent Democrats are doing this stuff. That a violent Democrat did that to that Charlie Kirk feller there is what y'all are saying. And I started thinking about all the violent Democrats that I could think of out there. And I started thinking about that Nancy Pelosi's husband that got his skull bashed in with a hammer at his house there. It wasn't a Democrat that did that. That was one of y'all. It was a fake ass patriot did that, I was thinking about that old guy that tried to attack the FBI building with a nail gun. He was all maggot up in the cult. That another Trump supporting Republican that did that right there. And then that senator and his family that got shot up there in Minnesota, that right there wasn't even a Democrat. There's another one of y'all, Team Tacos, that did that. Hey, that dude that supposedly took a shot at Donald F. and Trump there in Pennsylvania, Trump supporter, what he was, a Republican. That dude and the guy they found out there at the golf course that was supposedly going to take a shot at him, another Republican, So I'm trying to find all these violent Democrats. Can't find them. I just can't find them. I find a lot of y'all out there. But not that. So that's some more misinformation that's going on because we don't know what was up with that right there, but I do know this, that Charlie Kirk feller, I'm sure that he didn't think that he was going to go out that way. Nobody wants to go out like that. Nobody wants.
I think it's worth it. I think it's worth to have a cost of, unfortunately, some gun deaths every single year, so that we can have the Second Amendment to protect our other God-given rights.
Wow, Charlie, you talking to me from your dirt nap? Damn, dude, I didn't know you felt that strongly about that. Oh, wow. You got opinions about it. You had opinions about that. Man, you just want to get your message out there. Look, well, then you took one for the team then, dude. You took one for the team. You're a mascot, You ain't talking about it. You're being about it, leading by example.
I even think that we should bring back, public execution.
Great. Well, you got your wish, man. wow, you just doubled down on it, got your wish and everything. You know, you really did feel that strongly about it there, Charlie. That's crazy, talking to me from a dirt nap like that. Get your message out there. But y'all, anyway, look, Team Taco, the thing is we don't know actually what happened there, because they don't have that fella or whoever it was that shot at him and shot him. You know, we don't have that dude. And, you know, it looks to me more like that bullet right there, it came from the barrel of a sniper rifle, because you could tell by the, where it entered at, you know, that particular place was meant for that bullet to go to. That's what they were aiming at. That right there is the bullet of a sniper is what it looks like to me. And, I know that it's real easy to say, well, them Democrats out there being violent. Hey, I don't know about that. There's people out there with motive, you know, there's motive from some of them people. Some people out there, I mean, there's one dude in particular, he needs violence in this country. What he needs to do is get Team Taco and the Democrats all civil warring it up out in the streets and stuff. That's what he needs, so that he could use some sort of insurrection act, some martial laws and stuff. He needs that bigly, you know. And matter of fact, that same dude did just say yesterday that because of the Charlie Kirks getting all shot up like that his numbers are going to increase. His poll numbers are going to get better because of it. That's what that one dude said. And also, he also met with the Charlie Kirks just a couple of days ago. Told Charlie Kirk he needed to pipe the F down on the Jeffrey Epstein stuff. That's what he told the Charlie Kirks. He was tired of that Jeffrey Epstein stuff. And then the Charlie Kirk went up on his podcast and said he was going to kind of simmer down there on the Epstein stuff, you know. So there's people out there with motive and the ability to find them a sniper to do something like that if they need certain situations to go a certain way so that they can gain a certain amount of power in a certain amount of time, you know. So anyway, there, Team Taco, I wouldn't go out there pointing fingers right away. I don't think they're ever going to find the feller. But what somebody may be trying to do is get you and me fighting with each other out there so that they can fight with both of us and, you know, destroy everything for us forever. That could be a huge possibility there, Team Taco. So don't be out there blaming people quite yet, all right? Don't fall for the bait. That's what I'm telling you. Nobody on either side should fall for this bait, all right? Inmate Trump.
Harley, did that man say? Did that man say somebody really didn't like him? They negative liked him. And you can tell from what just happened.
And you know what? Let me tell you something, brother. I saw a lot of, you know, we had this stereotype. Everybody who's Southern, they are anti-black. But I saw more Southern white men and white women saying that Charlie Kirk got what he deserved. Now, black folks said it was sad what happened to him. We don't want that to happen, but he reaped what he sowed. But white folk are coming out here saying, yo, this motherfucker said this shit. This motherfucker was evil. You would know if you had a screenshot of that dude, you're like, oh, you're a Charlie Kirk supporter. He basically saying, yo, you brought this on yourself. You did this to yourself. You can't create that hate. Don't think that shit's gonna come back and bite you on the ass.
Right. Mark Wunderlich, Team Taco is with, he don't say MAGA. He call him Team Taco. That I just learned that today too, Mark. I learned it today. That's my new thing now. Team Taco.
Always killing something.
Yep. Yeah, Trump always chickens out.
Oh yeah, chickens out. That's what it was. Yeah, Trump and what gets me, they talk about they want to put a statue of Charlie Kirk. Let me tell you something. I hope the Democrats only win just not to tear down that building. They want a new banquet hall, them two ugly flag posts, and all this shit. And then let me tell you, Nick Fuentes, can y'all stop calling that motherfucker white? Stop calling him.
Yeah.
He is not white. He is a fucking Latino from Berwyn, Illinois. Okay? Please.
His last name is Fuentes. He's not all, no.
That motherfucker ain't. But you know what? But
and call him Nikita because he gay. Gay,
yeah.
gay.
Hey, and what's that dude? Matt Walsh, the one with the big ass beard. He's from Canada. They say he's gay too. A lot of these motherfuckers are gay. They're in the closet. A lot of them are attracted to black men, and they attack us because they can't. We don't want to be. You know what I mean? If you listen to us long enough, either some brother got some ass that they wanted and they couldn't get, so they been lashing out. Because we know Charlie Kirk didn't get no pussy in high school.
Or some of them had the Kid Rock.
Yeah, Kid Rock.
It was
cosplaying.
It was a black girl that broke their heart, so they hostile.
They hostile. I'm gonna get that nigger bitch. Yeah, that black guy took her away from me. Yeah, man, but what gets me, all these people come out. What's that dude? Chris Pratt, Charlie Sheen with his asked me to go sit his ass down somewhere. But all these motherfuckers is coming out, Democrat, Hollywood, and business. I'm making mental notes of this shit because y'all out here telling us that y'all cool with all this hate that this dude that made millions off. He made himself a millionaire. This motherfucker, since he was 18, been out here spreading hate. Y'all, I know he looked older than 31, but remember, he's only 30, well, was 31. He's a baby. Laura Loomer, she's 31. She's a 90s baby. Stephen Miller.
What?
Yeah,
no, she's not. No. Hell no. She ain't no 31. Hell no.
Go pull it up.
You lying. Hell no. That woman's 63. 63. No, let me look this up. Laura Loomer. Damn!
I know. She look, man, me and you damn near 50 years old, and we don't look our age. She's 31.
She's 32 now, but she still don't look her age.
Stephen Miller's 33 or 34.
I thought he was 40.
Maybe I might be wrong. I heard somebody say he was in his 30s.
I thought he just, let me see. Yeah, he just turned 40. He just turned 40 because his birthday was August 23rd.
Okay, I've been mixed up with somebody else. But somebody else.
And I said that too, though, but he still don't look 40. That motherfucker look 50. Yeah.
Go when you see his high school video, he was losing his head. Dude looked like Jack Nicholson on steroids.
I saw him. I used to see that he was a little pencil neck geek that they used to stuff in a locker. Yeah. And that's what I said. I said, man, the stress of not getting none at high school. And look, I said, that's fucked up. I never understood what that was like. But I used to see those kids. I was one of the sympathetic kids that was cool with everybody. So even the nerds, the nerds knew me too. So I'd be like, man, stall him out. He cool. Or they'd be with me and motherfuckers would be like, nah, that's LeVar people. They cool. So it was a bridge type thing. But I ain't, they was going through shit I just wasn't going through. They wasn't getting none and shit like that. And I ain't think that don't affect black kids like that though. We grow up, normally the awkward ones become the fine girl when you get older.
Mm-hmm. And then the dudes that y'all call the nerd or the smart, because he the one coming back be buff and got money, and she like, what the fuck?
I'm balling like a motherfucker. Yeah, he doing real good. So that's what I'm saying. Their life I can't fathom that because we don't grow up and then hate everybody. It's one weird nigga that does that. And we don't fuck with him anyway.
Let me tell you something. And I'm not telling people that, don't forget what somebody did to you, but we don't let it dictate our life. Like, there's some motherfuckers that bullied me when I was a kid. If somebody came and shit and say, hey, how you doing? I don't think I would talk to him, but I wouldn't say, I'm going to get my revenge on everybody. Damn you.
Yeah.
No, that's crazy, man.
Don't shake my hand now.
Oh,
that time you called me a geek.
1985.
You called me a geek when I was 6.
You spit a spitball with me of January of 1985.
You knocked over my chocolate milk. Are you
You took
serious, nigga?
my
You
cookies in 1991.
niggas is Harvey. Niggas is still mad at me for you remember, I don't know if you remember the old trick. You catch a motherfucker walking with his notebook and you will
Knock it
flick
down.
the back of it, make him drop all his papers and shit. Yay! Niggas still mad at me for that. They tried to get me. They ain't never get me because I tell that nigga carry this like a football. You got to carry.
And you know
I
what?
made friends playing that game. I literally made friends. Niggas be like, "Oh, we couldn't get you. We can't get him. What's up? What's your name?"
And you know what? Back when kids used to make jokes and you wasn't good, you went and watch Showtime at the Apollo or Eddie Murphy Raw and learn how to roast people. And you go to school.
Right.
We did
Right. You learn how to Jones.
shit today, man.
Right. You learn how to Jones. You don't just go home, cry, and go shoot up the school. That's just not the way we build.
Dude, these motherfuckers, if they don't get their way, I'm gonna take it out on everybody. Man,
And that's basically, Harvey, that is this administration as a whole. We are y'all don't understand it. We are under the rule of school shooters.
yeah.
All it, yes, these are the same. These are grown-up school shooters, y'all. Y'all understand that that's why they won't do nothing about school shooting, because they understand the shooter better than the people who got shot.
They feel a connection, just like Trump and them.
Right.
You want to be the president again, but you still out here playing the bully. You won. You the president. You're gonna go down in history as losing, but then coming back in office. You won, but you still gotta be the bully. You know what I mean? And the thing is that all of it, you go look at Stephen Miller, all of them, they were picked on in school because everybody said everyone got picked on in school, except Trump.
Exactly.
Because he had money. But Trump was he was an idiot. Even his own sister said that he was a moron.
Yeah, but but some people said at some of them schools he went to, he was a bully, Harvey.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He was a bully. And he used to pay people to take his test and everything because his evil ass daddy said, power, keep kicking people when they down. And this dude, let me tell you, Donald Trump, everybody talked about Biden. Look, I don't think Biden had Alzheimer's. I think Biden just aged physically. But Trump, he got issues, mental health issues. And everybody dancing around. I'm like, y'all talked all this shit about Biden, but Trump, he can't put two words together. The motherfucker wears a diaper. The motherfucker look like he about to tip over at any moment. Let me be careful how I say that.
I mean, what you ain't saying nothing. All you saying is that nature happens to us all. And it look like nature closer to him than it is to a lot of other people.
Exactly. And you know what? I'm seeing Andre brought up Jillian Michaels. You got a carpet munching, half Jewish, half Lebanese woman who adopted a black child, had a nerve to be racist.
Right.
You can't make this shit up, brother.
Hey, but look, I'm going to mess you up, Harvey. That's how I already in tune with the world I was. I already expect when you adopt black kids from other places, people know this on this channel. I've always said, I don't trust white people who adopt black kids. And the ones that I trust the least are the ones who adopt black kids from overseas. When they go to Haiti and they go to Africa. You know why they do that? Because they don't want them to be customized. See, you can't because it's black kids in Detroit that they can go get.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a difference. That black kid in Detroit didn't experience what America is and white supremacy. Meanwhile, this African kid who's been a victim of white supremacy, but only been surrounded by black people and black people in power, not knowing that same country you about to go to was the people who funded that dictator.
Mm-hmm. The reason why.
So when you come here, right, you're going to come here, you're going to get whitewashed, you can get bread. Oh, no, I don't see. That's what I meet chicks like that. Because I'm going to tell you, they come here. because this like a place with a government and stuff like that. They bring people from all over the world, and they'll come live here
To be a
by
buffer
virtue of
against
me
us.
being huh.
To be a buffer against us.
Right, and they'll move them here for their job or whatever. And when they get here, I'll be moving them in by virtue of me moving them in, Harvey.
Mm-hmm.
I be filling them out. I'm like, they be like, oh, she cool, she got a black kid. I said, man, did you see half the books that bitch got? She about to train this kid this kid is gonna be the next Candace Owens, and she darker than me.
And you look at that picture she had with her son that she had, and the black girl leaning on her. She hugged up on the son tight, but the black girl like, don't forget about me. It's a picture of her holding the daughter and her son, right? And you can, and I'm telling y'all, man, go look at it. It's very telling. And LeVar, you hit the nail on the head. When they go overseas, they figure those blacks overseas are more docile. Cause if you go from the motherland, across the pond, from the islands, they come over here. What are the first thing they do to prove they loyalty to white folks? They shit on us. I'm not saying it all, but majority of you. And Andre, you said that she was Lebanese. Yeah, she's Lebanese.
Yeah, I knew she was Jewish, but I knew she was something else too. I said, nah, that ain't all that I see. She looked funny. That's why she looked like that in the face.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of y'all think these people are white. Let me tell you, Terry Hatcher, Lebanese. Or we're gonna put on that show, Jack, Catherine Bell, she Lebanese. A lot of these motherfuckers, y'all call them white.
Janine Shapiro.
She's Lebanese. Yeah, see, let me tell you something. See, brother, me and you are that age where we recognize that shit. The younger, the more we get away. Because remember, we was right behind the baby boomers. You see what I'm saying? Our parents were baby boomers. Our grandparents were the silent generation. They told us, they got us hip. You know they ain't white. She ain't white. They passing. Or you know they passing. Just like what's that old girl was in that Iron Man movie, the one Iron Man 3 when she got killed in the movie, and it came out about 4 or 5 years ago that her mama was passed. I'm like, how she not know? Even she knew. But even though you look at her, she still don't identify as black.
Dude, the broad that was the broad that was telling me about Sinners that married Josh Allen.
She's passing. The one is
she look, her folks is half black and Filipino. Mm-hmm. So it was nothing white about her grandfather.
Yeah. And I don't know, maybe she got cast in that movie, and maybe Ryan Coogler peeped that. Yeah, Haley Stein, because it was always something about her. I was like, something about her. I can't quite put my finger on it. And anti-hero, Marlo Thomas. A lot of people don't know that Marlo Thomas, the father, Danny Thomas. Yeah, she's married to Phil Donahue till he died last year. A lot of them are passing. John Belushi, his brother Jim Belushi, they Armenian. Or Lebanese, because they got the accent. Yeah, a lot of people. I'm telling you, man, and these people be talking shit about us. I say, y'all, if I ever get on TV, I'm going to spill the beans on everybody. You pass,
Casey Kasem. You found that out when he died. He wasn't a white guy.
He no white guy. I'm Casey Kasem. He get cartoon voices and stuff because he quit Transformers because they made the Lebanese. If y'all don't know, I'm gonna tell you about Casey Kasem. If you was a kid of the 80s, you watch Transformers. And Casey Kasem was everywhere. He did cartoon voices, Shaggy and all that. It was a character on Transformers was Lebanese, and Casey Kasem thought it was so racist. And he told the producer, he said, "Can you please change it?" And they said no. He quit doing cartoon voices for the Transformers and G.I. Joe and and Vin Diesel.
Yeah, because all that's on the Hasbro.
All the Hasbro, the Cluster Productions was part of Marvel. And then Vin Diesel, he identifies Italian my ass, and he a light-skinned nigga, him and his twin brother.
Yeah, I about to say, if y'all go look at pictures, I fuck with Quest X. Y'all know who he is. My man Quest X. I fuck with him personally behind the scenes. I always send him pictures of Vin Diesel when he was younger. I said, see, look at you. He be like, oh man. And now keep in mind, he's just a light-skinned black man.
Yeah.
But so is Vin Diesel.
Then you got
Especially the one when he got that little curly fro and he at that school with all them real white, huh?
When they both was breakdancing.
Yeah, nah, it's a picture of him when he was young with that little curly fro,
Mm-hmm.
and he's at a school with real white kids.
Oh, you talking about he had the uniform on?
Yes, and you see, my father made me look that up. He said, "No, go, he black." He had been telling me that. He was like, he been passing all this time. My father been saying that. He was like, go look it up. He said, it's a picture of him in the uniform. You can see how black he is then. And I seen, and you was like, who is that little light-skinned boy? He looked like Devin Booker. For real, he looked like Devin Booker, the basketball player for the Suns.
And then you got I'm glad I was gonna bring him up from Prison Break. I forget his name. When he grew his hair out, he gained some weight. He was on the Flash for a while, and he went away for a while. He gained all the weight and grew out the fro. And people say he black. I'm like, duh. And then you got Carly Simon. He's so vain, them big ass lips. Then Steven Tyler. What's that doctor? The one that got arrested. Liv Tyler found out that she black. Her father. Y'all don't, man. These people be running around calling themselves white. I'm like, man, y'all. I be laughing at like The Rock. He pushed that Samoan shit. Yeah, you some more black. Get the fuck out of here with that.
Look, the only problem with The Rock was this. You can't be running around talking about I'm Samoan. Meanwhile, your fully Samoan family run around calling the white people you work with white boys. And they blacker than you. How can look, you can't say that was what was so fucked up for The Rock. He was forced to accept his blackness because his Samoan side accept their blackness.
Mm-hmm.
That's what got him. He was in a bad predicament. Everybody know them. All them that's running wrestling right now. Everybody know them. The Rock cousins. Ain't nothing white about them niggas walking. Them niggas got women, sisters with big old asses and big old lips and chocolatey skin. Them sisters out there. And y'all don't believe that shit about Rikishi was mad he wasn't dating the Samoan. He said they wrote that shit in. He said he don't care. He said, I grew up in San Diego around black people. How the fuck I'm going to be mad my kids marry a black woman?
And then everybody
they played football.
And everybody know his daddy was Rocky Johnson. Everybody knew. He looked just like his daddy. He looked more like his daddy than he wanted to care to admit at times.
He didn't look nothing like his Samoan cousins.
No.
At all. They look alike. All them look alike. But you don't look nothing like her. You look like your father with a bald head. And if you grow your goatee, you will really look like your father. And you know it. That's why you shave your face like a white man. That's the only thing I don't like about The Rock. The Rock could grow a whole goatee.
Yeah, remember before he blew up, before he started lifting all them weights, he had that goatee. He looked at too black. Remember he was in G.I. Joe? He played Robot, and everybody said, why he playing a black?
That nigga was brown as shit. I told somebody, I said, man, The Rock could get brown. The Rock, I said, it ain't nothing white about The Rock. I said, he got to be taking that bleaching shit.
Yeah, like Tiger Woods. He go out to Blasian. When he got arrested, they put black on his nationality. Stop running from who y'all are. And when they get in trouble, they want to run back to us. You know, but I get at the Tiger. Tiger has never ran back. Yeah. He never ran back.
You gotta get at the Tiger. That's one thing I get at Tiger. But that nigga done ran from us, and he's still running. And look, he don't even know that now. He running to the point where they just chasing him. It ain't got nothing to do with us no more.
No, and then Chris Daughtry. I'm glad somebody brought Chris Daughtry when he's on American Idol. And I'm like, if y'all can't see the black in that motherfucker, I don't know what it is. And I ain't talking about that that Daughtry. What's his name? Chris Daughtry with the Daughtry. I be laughing my ass off. And then Doja.
See, I ain't never see that one. I ain't never see it then. I just said it when Paula Abnegro was on there.
Oh yeah,
That I think that's the theme of American Idol. One pretentious white guy, then a black person, then a black ambiguous person.
yeah. Or Cameron did that. Now you got Kamala Anthony like, I'm Puerto Rican. I'm Puerto Rican. I'm Puerto Rican. I'm like, man, you motherfuckers, y'all love cosplaying black when it's convenient. But then, oh, you said Felix, you didn't know that old boy from Prison Break was black, half black. He was in a movie with
They
Anthony
kill me with that shit.
played the character.
I'm Puerto Rican.
Yeah,
I'm Puerto Rican. Nigga, I'm American. What do we do now? I'm American.
Yeah.
Now what do we do? Okay. All right. You are. I never take that from him, Harvey. I tell him, I go, okay, yeah, I'm American. What do we do now? The motherfucker get quiet. They be looking I'm like, yeah. So now that we've established what nation we from, do that make you, nigga? I'm looking at you. It was a nigga trying to tell me he wasn't black. He was Puerto Rican. This nigga got on cornrows, Allen Iverson shoes, Allen Iverson. I said, so you don't claim being us. You just cosplay as us when you walk around. He said, what? I said, nigga, the cornrows, we do that. Them shoes, we do that. I said, nigga, ain't you supposed to be having on a sombrero or some flip flops or something?
You know what would get me? You made me think about Sammy Sosa. He was in Chicago the other day. Cause the Cubs finally gave him his awards, right? Give him this good stuff. And so I remember it was in told y'all the story. They said African American, in which he's not an African American, he's a Dominican, And so he said, I'm not black, I'm not African American. He got mad, he got heated.
He got mad.
I never get that. I never forget that. And then
he bleached his skin for that. And he do not like to be called black, even though he black. Look, Sammy Sosa wore the motherfucking 1950s conch. I knew what was up with Sammy. Remember the home run derby exposed what he was. I said, why is he being racist why is he being friends with this racist motherfucker? Because Mark McGuire was talking shit about him the whole time. But he was being nice.
And remember when Sosa could have beat his own teammate through that little soft ass pitch when Mark could get that home run over Sammy Sosa. And Sammy comes out there cheesing and hugging him. I'm happy for you. And then maybe 10 years ago with that, Mark McGuire was out there throwing shade on Sammy. Sammy should just come clean. Your big ass stary ass like he was holding a toothpick and you had a nerve. But Sammy went out there kissing ass. Kissing ass. And they talk about Sammy like a dog. Every time you see a white person, they whip up. Look at Sammy. Look at him. Look at him. Look at get to his skin. Look at his skin. And I'm sitting up there and I'm like, yeah, Lala go back. She does the same thing. I'm gonna say this to black folk. We need to get on code about who comes along with us in our community because you got these brothers and sisters from the motherland come over here. They over here talking shit to us now that we out here delineating shit. They mad at us. Well, you don't want to be black? What, man? You told us we wasn't African all the time. Now all of a sudden that we putting our foot down, we the bad guys. You can't go cosplay blackness. You can't go out here and throw us up under the bus when it's convenient. And when you get your nigga moment, you want to run back and say, what we gonna do? Who's we?
Ain't right. See, now what it is Harvey, I remember I met this fine, thick chocolate chick from Trinidad back in the day, right? I didn't know she was Trinidad. I just thought she was a dark-skinned chick. So one day me and her get to chilling and she get to seeing me talking on about the news. And she like, wow, you're a racist. I said, I'm racist. I said, sweetheart, I'm black. I have no power to do anything or change anything. I said, I ain't calling for the demise of nobody. I'm just saying that people need to relinquish power and get their foot off my people's neck. What's up with you? Come on, you know what this is, right? She said, no, I'm from Trinidad. We weren't raised like that. I was like, what you mean? Like what? I said, you don't know the history? I said, you act as if Trinidad wasn't an island full of niggas who had to go through slavery before they became just the island that Britain or whoever left the fuck alone. And she got mad talking about, I'm telling her about her history and this, you don't know my history. The problem is this: I'm from the United States of America. Don't take this wrong. If you are a somebody from the diaspora and you are a friend of mine, because you know we still friends. But understand this: you're here for a reason. If your schools were educating you so fucking well, they wouldn't took you out of that school you went to and put you in some of the worst public schools in America, and you still got a better education. You know why? Because we know more about y'all history a lot of times than you fucking do. And we know a lot of more about y'all history than what you want to give us credit for, and a lot of other times.
Yeah, and that's why
We know.
Well, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, I'm done. I'm done. Go ahead, bro.
And this is what I was saying earlier about people fixation on us. We're not the bad guys of the story. Black Americans have been open to everybody. We didn't got kicked in the ass, raped in the ass, shot in the ass, stabbed in the back, kicked. You know what I mean? But we still give grace to everybody, and everybody turn around and they shit on us. Like Fat Joe, if he stood out in the sun, he'd be another nigga to the world, right? He gets out here and say we have no culture, but black folks embraced him in the culture. You see what I'm saying? And you got Jennifer Lopez. If it wasn't for being a backup dancer and the Wayne brothers didn't give her a shot on Living Color, we wouldn't know who she was. You know what I mean? But she sit back there.
Ain't it wild? Ain't it wild when you bring up her? I was thinking about this the other day. I seen a thing where somebody was shitting on Jim Carrey. And I went, I can't let nobody shit on Jim Carrey. They was like, why? I said, because he the only white man who literally gives props to the Wayans brothers for making him who he was. And he never acts too big to be around them. Even though Hollywood pushed him to try to be bigger than them.
Yeah, I got my issues with Jim Carrey in recent years, but he the only one that acknowledged.
Yep.
How Rosie Perez don't even acknowledge Duncan is for Living Color.
Thank you. None of them do. That's why that's why I say I know some of the shit you got with him, and I even like Jim. Fuck you doing? But then again, he'll go back, and it'll be somewhere where they trying to talk about Jim Carrey, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I see Damon Wayans there. I'll be like, what the fuck? Damon don't even be in the movie, but he has somebody. Look, y'all, this how much Jim Carrey paid tribute to the black people who put him on. You notice any movie that he really had something to do with, anybody from In Living Color could have got on.
Yeah. Yeah. And
he was feeding Tommy Davidson.
Yeah. And people don't realize that Jim Carrey was a struggling actor back in the 80s. He started out as a comic. He did TV shows. He was in that movie. We was in the movie with Jeff Goldblum and Damon Wayans. What's that? Earth? What's that? They come from. They was aliens. You know that movie? And they was fake.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah. What is that movie? Yeah, they was all covered in fur. That's Damon Wayans.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Goldblum with Gina Davis. That's the Jim. Yeah. Jim Carrey. He was a struggling actor. He was on a TV show. He played. I can't think of the name. And he did a movie when he was a vampire, and he struggled for a long time.
Now I do remember. I do remember that. I forget. The Love Bites or some shit like that. I remember that.
Love Bites, because I know when we was kids, it was on cable all the time.
It was on. I was about to say Harvey. It was on cable, and we great data. Well, shit, most of our audience around our age. Y'all remember video stores? Mm-hmm. Love Bites used to have a poster at almost every video store when it came out.
Well, USA Friday Night with Gilbert Gottfried and then woman Rhonda. What's the name?
Yeah.
Movie, and they watched that over and over. Love Bites.
Joe Bob Briggs. Oh, Joe Bob Briggs.
Yep.
Yep.
See, that's what I'm saying to people. See, yeah, but Cleveland Little, yeah, Anti-Hero, yeah, you remember Cleveland Little? He was the
Yeah.
sidekick.
Once bitten. That's
Yeah,
what I'm
once
talking
he played like the
about.
butler. He said, "What are you doing, sir?" Yeah, yeah. See,
Yeah. Once bitten. There you go. I knew it was bite something.
I knew
Thank you.
something
Because I
was.
remember he had like the cover, he had the broad had him by the shirt and he had like an apple or some shit.
Sure did, because old
I
girl,
remember that.
she was hot. I forget her name. I can't think of the. She was a brunette. Because back in the 80s, they was popular and shit. They was. I can't think of her name, but Lauren Hutton, the blonde chick.
There you go.
Lauren Hutton was the blonde chick because she was the lead vampire, and they was going to turn Jim Carrey and his girlfriend. Earth Girls Are Easy. That's what Jeff Goldblum. Thank you, Jeff Goldblum. Earth Girls Are Easy. When they played aliens, they crashed into the pool, and Damon was orange like cats. They had fur on them. Earth Girls Are Easy. That's what it was.
There go the once bitten joint. Okay, it wasn't an apple in this one, but I do remember what I saw. I do remember what I saw. I can't remember. I couldn't forget that. It's him and Lauren Hutton, and it's a
Lauren,
girl over top of with shades on.
yeah, and he laying down like, you don't want to bite me. I don't take something. He says something. Yeah.
I remember that. I remember that. But I give Jim Carrey that. I said, all right, you know what, Jim Carrey, he had no problem giving props to. Look, the motherfucker that put me on was the Wayans brothers. It took some black men from New York to put me on.
Said when he was
Yeah.
struck and nobody would touch him in Hollywood, Keenan and David saw something in him.
Yeah. And then after that, look, because they say, see, people don't even know. Do y'all know, kind of in a way, In Living Color is why we going through what we going through with Fox News?
Yeah.
I think me and Harvey broke that down to y'all before, how In Living Color is the reason that Fox News is successful. Because when Fox was a struggling network, In Living Color, Martin, all of them saved them. That's why Martin and all of them, you be like, how they get these white supremacists? Because they saved their ass. They was broke. And all of a sudden they would put In Living Color on and they knew all the black people was watching. What they didn't know was white people was going to watch it even more. And then after that, before that, they had the Tracy Ullman show. They tried to bring her over from England. She really wasn't hitting y'all, but everybody was waiting for another Simpsons short. Am I lying, Harvey?
Nope. People need to remember.
That's the only reason you watch the Tracy Ullman show. You be like, I hope they're going to do that cartoon. That's where the Simpsons came from.
People forget when Rupert Murdoch bought the Metro Media, it was Phil's Communication. They became Metro Media. 1986, he bought it. In 1987, that's when Beans Baxter, Duet, President, Married with Children, Tracy Ullman, Duet, Jump Street.
Duet. You watch too much TV, huh?
Open house, yeah, exactly. Open house,
open with Chris Lemon, bitch ass. Yeah, that was the spinoff.
And then you had what was that? Matthew Perry was on the show when he went from the future to go meet him as a kid.
Second chance. If I had a second chance, tell me how would I make it? I gotta go back. Yeah.
And then you had Parker Lewis, was basically Ferris Bueller.
Hey, everybody had a Parker Lewis party shirt. I don't care what you say, especially in DC. We had them Rayon party shirts.
And then remember when the Simpsons came on, I'm Bart Simpson. Who the hell they was sending us? They was suspending us home from school for wearing the Simpsons shirt. Herman's Head.
I was about to say.
I loved Herman's Head.
Herman's Head, yeah.
And then
Herman's Head.
What's that show?
That was the
good one. That was
half
good.
the voices from the Simpsons was on Herman's head.
Herman's head. Lisa.
It was half the Simpsons. Frank Azaria. Yep. Frank Azaria. Dan Castellana. All of them was on there too.
Yeah. And then what else? 21 Jump Street. Jump down on Jump Street.
But
I said jump.
then they tried to do. Why they tried to do a Booker though? That shit was horrible.
Yeah,
Booker,
yeah, that was.
We ain't even like him. I said that. I said I ain't even like him when he came to 21 Trump Street.
Then you
had the fuck.
The South Central. Remember South Central when Lorenz?
Yeah. Yep. They tried Sinbad for a little bit.
Yeah, with Ray J when he was going by his real name, Willie Norton, Willie Jr.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
That's Selma Hayek got her start on Sinbad. She was gonna be a love Sinbad. The late great Nancy Wilson played his mom, and old boy from 227 played his dad.
Yep. Y'all don't know. Black people say that never. Oh, remember they tried House of Bugging? John Leguizamo.
Yeah. And then they played the animated series in prime time, the X-Men and Spider-Man in prime time. So and the guest of the black guy was producer of the Spider-Man series, and them all helped save Fox. And the reason why we got a super airtime show is because of The Living Color.
Yep. And because them and the Simpsons start doing shows during halftime. Motherfuckers would flip because all they would do is talk about the game. So you could go watch In Living Color and then the Simpsons during the whole halftime show. They flip-flopped it 2 different years.
And people need to remember, and 90210 did not save Fox. It was the black show. The Undercover, Rock. Remember, Rock was doing Rock Live. They did a whole season of Rock Live.
Rock Live like a motherfucker play. Look, this how much Rock was loved. DC, Baltimore, VA, we get together because I got partners from everywhere. We talk about Rock. We was in Baltimore with my Baltimore partner. All we talked about was Rock. He was like, yeah, yo, that's down by the way. And everybody loved Rock. His father, his brothers.
He said, Joey, what you doing? He said, I fell on my route today. He always felt garbage. And the wife
found something and brought home a prop and shit.
He called his father Pops. Joey's the trumpet player.
Yeah.
In the first season, I was shelled. God bless the child to have his own.
God bless his own. Yep. That's John Rock.
Did the second season. Rock was popular. And the only reason why they canceled it because the topics was too heavy because the head of Fox didn't like the topics. Fox and it had ratings. They killed that.
He started trying to tackle violence in Baltimore because I talked to Charles Dutton, right? I met him on the set Hollywood Hearts. What's the name of that? Untamed some shit with Harrison Ford, because I met both of them. They was on my grandmother's street. So I'm talking to Charles Dutton and what's the all-state man, the good hands. I saw him. Because Harrison Ford had that nigga jacked up. When I went Random Hearts, that's the name of the movie. They had shot that shit. They did a week of film shooting on my grandmother's house. I was living with my great-grandmother. I'm coming back home from my little electric job. I hit the corner. Harrison Ford got the Allstate man jacked up. I go, oh shit, Han Solo. Next thing you know, I hear something go, cut. He busts out laughing and come shake my hand. Everybody say, I'm sorry, I forgot. I'm just getting home from work. I said, no problem. So I go take my shower, come out. Charles Dutton just sitting there, we talking. And then he let me know, he like, yeah, man. So you from around here? I said, yeah, I'm born and raised. He was like, yeah. He was like, well, like when I did rock, I like to get out and talk to the people, man, because that's how I'm from Ohio. He said, I'm from Cleveland, man. And I've been through some shit. And that's before I knew Rock was locked up.
Locked up for, a lot of people didn't know that. When they found out he was in jail, they were shocked. Yeah, he got shit together. And he's just, and you know what? They blackballed him in Hollywood.
Yes, they did. And because he was just trying to do positive shit for black people. Hey, let me tell you something, y'all. I'ma tell you, I know how Rock got that beef. Rock is built like a fucking rock, y'all. He like 5'6". He's short as a motherfucker. He would at the time I was skinnier, so he's still wider than me. I can tell. I can't get that wide. That motherfucker built like a brick shit house. That little motherfucker looked like a fire plug. I'm telling y'all, Rock was like 235 solid, 5'6". I said, God damn. Look like you try to tackle Rock, you'll just bounce off him. Nigga ain't had no neck, y'all. You gotta worry about them niggas with no neck. What you gonna do? Choke him?
And that
You just grabbing his chin. Yeah.
Shuffle, he's walking with his hand, you that shuffle. He said, "Come here, Joey."
Right.
Pops.
Yep. Yep.
And he go, "Come here, Eleanor." But the
yep.
thing is, we remember, and that's how Fox they took all that money and was able to get the Super Bowl, Major League Baseball, all that stuff because of black viewers. This is why I know some of us got issue with Roland Martin, but he was right about Tubi. Fox owns Tubi, and look what they doing now.
Look what they doing now. At first, they was letting every niggas movie get on. I said, yep, niggas never listen. Now niggas complaining they can't get their movies on. I say, yeah, we was telling you.
I remember they was replaying old episodes of Superboy on Tubi. All the old TV shows that's not in print on DVD or non-reruns, Tubi had. Then all of a sudden they shift to black program because they did this with the WB. They did this with UPN. When no white folks ain't watching them TV shows, go get some niggas to save the day.
Yeah.
We got more power than we think, folks, but we don't use it wisely because we too busy saying, oh, ain't nothing going to change. If black folks, you know how we talking about our vote. If I want people to push this thing next month, excuse me, it's October, right? Don't buy no candy, no costumes. Then November, you ain't gonna go. You can eat turkey anytime. You ain't got no big ass dinner. Christmas, don't be buying all that shit for Christmas or New Year's.
You ain't gotta say that, Harvey.
Hmm?
I got a feeling you ain't gotta say that. Know why?
Why?
After this economy hit, niggas ain't gonna be able to afford that shit anyway. Look, after this shit hit them, they ain't gonna be able to afford that shit.
Dude,
turkey,
man.
Niggas be lucky they eating chicken wings.
Man,
for motherfucking
I be eating a lot more oatmeal than I can admit lately, to be honest with you,
I'm
bro.
about to say, shit, the belt that had to get tight around this motherfucker.
Man, shoot, dude. People said, man, what you got in your refrigerator? I got 2 cans of ginger ale and baking soda. And I ain't exaggerating either.
See? Shit, it gets tight. Look, I realized that shit. I said, damn, my kids really do motivate me. My God, brother say, why you say that? I said, nigga, I ain't had no groceries since my son been gone. When I knew he was coming back, I put some groceries in here. But I was like, shit, I was trying to save and see how long I could go. He started laughing. I said, man, he said, them prices. I said, man, remember when the shoppers used to actually be somewhere you could say, I said, I went there the other day. I thought I was at the damn Super Fresh. Or one of the, we got the expensive grocery stores, Harvey, like the organic stores. Then you got like a Super Fresh or Whole Foods, shit like that. Harris Teeter. Then you got the mid majors is what I call like a Wegmans or Weiss. We got those. Then you got the good ones, which are Giant. We still got a few Safeways, still a few good Food Line. Then you got the low budget joints, which is the shoppers, which is you get good quality, but you gotta look through the food. Then you got the Aldi's, the Lidl's, the Save-A-Lots, and shit like that. That's what I call. You go there, it's just like, nothing is name brand in that store. It's just green beans. You know what I'm saying? That's green beans. That's shells and cheese. That's what that is. You know what I'm saying? There's no Briars, no Hogan Dazs. And that's what I said. I said, so this is for people who have even less money. Man, you
Spidey,
seen
007 Spidey said on the west side of Chicago. Yeah, I remember Buddy Bear used to be on Chicago Avenue and Cicero. One was on Roosevelt next to Jules. We got Pete's here. We got Myers. We got a few Save a Lot. We got like Whole Foods and Amazon, and those things are expensive.
See, you know what I'm talking about. See, it's degrees. Chicago is a big city. I know y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. You got the chains that when you grew up, those were the ones that the grandma and the moms and them, they went to on the weekends. They got their meats, they got their fresh vegetables and shit from there. If it wasn't from a farmer's market, they get it from there.
And I'm gonna
Then
tell you, you used to be able to go in those grocery stores and get big old bags of chicken wings. Your mama and them used to get.
yeah,
They had to sell. You can't get that shit now. Big old packs of ground beef. Can't get that shit now. You used to be able to get buffalo catfish. That's back in the day when we was kids. We didn't eat no catfish. We ate buffalo.
you could only do that. You could only do that. Look, they do. That's what I do give the stores here. Everyone now got bison. They'll have a good cuts of bison steaks every now and then. But what you was just saying about the ground beef and the chicken wings, it is a place you can do it, but it's the expensive grocery store.
Mm-hmm. And you gotta go to those dedicated meat markets. Cause like when I was a
Yeah.
kid, I remember my mom used to send us with a note. See, when we was kids, we was 8, 9 years old. We was grocery shopping. These kids don't know nothing about that shit. But your mama get a piece.
Yeah. Because we grew up down the street from a Safeway. So my grandma, if she feel like walking, she was like, you and your cousin Tavis go down there. So me and my cousin Tay walk down there, get all the groceries. Like, you saw what grandma wrote on the list. She said we both could get some. I was sitting there arguing and stuff, getting the stuff, walk the groceries back home. Shoot, I remember all that. But nah, we don't do that. Shit, you can barely do it. Do you know? Watch this, Harvey. 2 years ago, this no bull. I sent my son and my nephew. They here, and like you said, it was the summertime. I said, "Fuck." He was like, "Dad, we got a like hot dog buns or something." And I was like, well, shit, the grocery store right there. Like our apartment complex is literally attached to a grocery store, like 25 steps. So I'm like, walk to the grocery store right there, huh? Give him a couple of dollars, go walk there. Not only was he ended up getting it, right? He come back home with all the money and $5 extra that they gave him because they talking about, well, we really ain't allowed to do that no more.
What?
Yes, kids without a parent is not allowed to come in there, even if they got money, even if they live like literally, they not coming there to do nothing wrong. They got money. Seriously, a grown man ended up buying the shit for him, wouldn't take the money from him, and gave him $5 and sent them back home.
Man, when we was kids,
that's the DMV, y'all.
Let me tell you something. When I was a little boy, me and my brother my mom wanted, like, you know how she cooks spaghetti. Our mamas didn't go buy that ragu all the time. That was special occasions that we got ragu.
Yeah.
The Constantina tomato paste, right?
They just get tomato paste and cut up some onions and some green peppers, and they had the mushrooms and all of that shit already. They'll slice it up, season the fuck out that shit. Cause I did that. I do that now to this day. That's what they do.
Little cans of tomato paste, the Constantina with the label on that red can. And so Mama said, she said, you and your brother gonna go to the store and write a note. Yeah, back in, me and my brother's 2 years younger than me. We had to hold hands, walking to the damn store till we got out of Mama's sight. Said, man, let my hand go. and we go in there and we got the little grocery item, we get the groceries, we get a man our money, and the guy tried to cheat us. I said, no, that's not how much it is. And so we ran home.
We know how to count, sir. Yeah, I used to fuck with him too, but Dad taught me how to read. Like Barry was reading and writing and all that at 3. My father taught me that shit by 4. So we go in there. I know I'm fucking them. I'm like, I know how to count, sir. They was like, damn, this little motherfucker smart.
Look who you are. And then your father come home from work and he said, what, them motherfuckers trying to cheat y'all y'all money? Come on. And your dad come and said, you trying to cheat my son?
That's the thing about growing up in Southwest DC, though, huh? It was other black people. So once they saw, oh, this little nigga know what's going on, they ain't fucking with you no more. They don't want, and then they don't want your father come up. You know, black people don't want all that trouble at work.
And let me tell you something. We had our fathers on blocks cutting grass out there with our mothers.
Yep.
And your mother planting flowers. They teaching you how to cut grass, take out the garbage, water. We drunk water out the water hose out the side of the house on the faucet. That rusty ass water. And I'm surprised we ain't dead, man.
Shit, nah, I'm gonna mess you up, Harvey. Somebody hit me with some shit. Me and my folks was talking the other day. He said, bruh, you know something I ain't seen that motherfucking kids don't know nothing about? I said, what? He said, cracking open the fire hydrant. I said, that shit dead.
Yeah, that's dead. These motherfuckers want to be in air-conditioned rooms and shit. They ain't touching no fire hydrant. You see, the one kid got the tire and the stick and made a jet in cars. People used to drive their cars, do it. If they didn't have the money to go to car wash, they said, just drive it to the damn water faucet.
Yeah, just drive through the fucking fire hydrant, motherfucker.
Yeah, and then when we used to go to the store, penny candy. We had a quarter. We thought we was living a life, man.
Yeah, I know. I be telling my son, I was like, you know, I paid 50 cents for some shit I used to pay 5 cents and 1 cent for. Right now, seriously. Like, I paid 50 cents just now for a Tootsie Pop, for a Tootsie Roll Tootsie Pop.
Crazy, man.
50 cents, y'all. I just paid, seriously, I did. I just paid 50 cents for what?
You know, the most expensive candy was probably the cherry chans, the lemon heads, and the banana splits. When they used to only have banana splits and all that green apple grape shit.
I'm about to say the most expensive candy, Harvey, was the Snickers.
Oh yeah.
The Snickers
you was
and
bad.
the Reese's Cups.
Reese's
all
Cups
that other shit.
and Milky Way.
If you had 50 cents, you could get that. Yeah, remember, you needed a solid dollar to walk away with a Milky Way and one of them, because back then those was 50 to 60 cents. All the other shit, a quarter. If you had a quarter in your pocket, like you said, you would be living large. And we used to do shit for 50 cents. Man, me and my brother was just talking about that. My father used to bless us. He'd give us like $5, $10 allowances, $20 allowances. Y'all, we talk about in the 80s. And then our uncles, they was heavy in the game. They'd come through and give us money. We'd go to the store, y'all, and buy so much candy. We got cavities now from candy we done ate when we were 6 years old. I'm sorry. We're like, didn't them teeth fall out? Nah, it was shit left over from that candy.
Brother, we remember comic books used to be 25 cents, then went to 50 cents. I would go to 7-Eleven, I would walk down to 7-Eleven, get me some comic books, a Slurpee, a big ass bag, and the potato chips was 25 cent Doritos. Doritos, when they not now, it's the air. We used to have a bag full of Doritos.
My bags of air, they was filled up to the top. When you opened up the bag, chips was at the top.
And
it wasn't no room to put your whole hand in and grab a chip.
And you came out,
you would see
cheese. You had cheese all over your hands.
Yeah, everywhere.
Then you had the pickles for 25 cents. You used to get the peppermint stick in the middle of the damn pickle.
You know what? I know what you talk about, Javier. You know what my shit is to this day. I got 2 joints to this day. I still will not stop eating. That's peanut chews, and then look. Remember the salted pumpkin seeds that used to come into the white pumpkin
orange bags, some big ass pumpkin seeds. Yeah,
man. Do you know I ordered a bag of them orange bags. I finally found them on Amazon. I ordered a bag of the pumpkin seeds look like sunflower seeds. I said, this ain't what I used to eat. I said, them pumpkin seeds used to be big. I said, that's why I like pumpkin seeds more than sunflower seeds.
Man, I'm gonna tell you, you remember the Fortune bubble gums, the orange
Oh
Fortune?
yeah.
I
Hell
found
yeah.
Amazon 3 years ago, but they took 4 years ago they took it off because they said it was racist. Cause the Asian, the little Asian symbol. But you remember the Pals bubble gum? You had the big bowl, the hard candy. You suck it, it turns a gum, but wasn't really never a lot of gum. You had the fun.
Oh, that's my hey Harvey. I just ordered some of them like a year ago. The big bowls. Come on, man. The hard candies was sweet as I don't know what. You couldn't get a chew out of that bubble gum. You had to eat like 3 of them
Three to
to
make
get probably
gum.
yeah to make an actual bubble. You got to eat 3 of them joints.
Alexander Great,
And,
man. Ew.
yes. Look, they changed. Remember, they changed cherry chain 3 different times. It used to be cherry chains. Then they said that was racist. Cherry clan, but they kept the Asian shit, which they get, and then they just cherry something else now.
Yeah. Cause Fiera Pan is in Chicago. When you go out on the west side, you can smell that candy. We used to take tours up in there when I was a kid. And they would give you candy. And what else? Pumpkin seeds. What's that one? It was
Yeah.
it was sort of like now later. It's called fruit chews or something. It was fruit. I can't
Jingles.
Yeah, I think that was it. They was
Jingles.
These are small.
They was little annihilators. They was tiny annihilators.
Yep.
Niggas used to put crack in jingles. You know that, right? They had to.
Well,
they had to.
That might explain
niggas used to eat.
We were.
I was about to say, kids used to lunch out. Man, I remember man was be coming early in the morning, mouth full of jing. You ain't gonna eat no burger. Nope, hype than a motherfucker. I was like, and I used to eat the jingles too. It used to give you such a super sugar rush, y'all.
Yeah.
I said, man, seriously.
We was bouncing off the
they
wall.
Don't even make jingles.
Tell us about in the backyard. We climbed up trees, climbed up garages. We climbed up on the roof of that. Man, I should be dead, man. We have to be disfigured, man. We have apple trees in our backyard. We be climbing, getting on a garage, jumping off the damn garage like we Batman and Robin. I mean, man.
Look, Harvey, you shouldn't be disfigured, but you know people who did get disfigured. Hey, we done seen it. I know I got at least 2 friends that tore their nutsack open, tore a hole in their ass, all on black gates around our neighborhood. All of them.
Step on it. And
yep, the metal black gates.
Oh, yes.
I know plenty. That's why back in the day I could jump so high. I was like, man, that ain't gonna happen to me. I done seen niggas get lit.
And you didn't have a basketball rim. You had an old bike rim that you took the spokes out and went and hammered on a telephone pole. That was your basketball court.
Well, the school was around the corner, so we had the milk crate. The school was around the corner, so we had the milk crates. We had the crates. We had in the alley.
Yeah, they took them down because when we was moving in the neighborhood, the white folks was trying to move out, and there was too many black kids. They took them down. Cause they didn't want
what? That's the thing about DC. There were no white kids, none. Yeah. I told my son Jabari about. I said, you know what you had to do to see a white kid? Remember, I'm born in '77, y'all. I'm talking about I was born in DC. My whole family from DC. They didn't go to school with white people in the '60s. They didn't go. Look, that's why it was a big thing. One of the only white kids that went to public school with them, they went to Wilson. You know who that was, Harvey? They talk about her all the time. All the old heads my father age talk about. Amy Carter.
Oh.
She went to school with my mother.
Wow.
Yeah. Amy Carter. That's why black people, Carter is here. fucked with Jimmy Carter.
Yeah, he
Jimmy
built
Carter was cool with. He was a man of the people.
back in the early '80s. He came to Chicago and built some of these houses, these row houses that still sit over there. They in disrepair, but he came over back in the '80s and helped build that stuff. And I remember when I vague memories, but everybody's like Jimmy Carter's in town. Jimmy Carter. That's why everybody liked Jimmy Carter. That's why when he died, everybody gave him the utmost respect. Oh yeah,
Yeah, ain't nobody really. Yeah, and then when Reagan came to town, it was fuck. Yeah,
that's
I'm
when
trying to
everything
tell y'all.
everything changed.
Right.
He got in
And
office.
I'm telling y'all, I'm telling y'all, I knew the difference even as a youngster. You could feel it. And but DC was all black. You had to leave. I had my son giggling the other day. I said, son, you know how old I was before I seen a white kid like in my neighborhood? Like, huh? I said, son, Steve Poe is his name. He started laughing. I said, Steve Poe came third grade. He came late. You know, school started in like September. We noticed because he came in like October, late October, no, close to November. And the reason I know that because Steve Poe lasted 3 months. Dr. King's birthday, the last good ass whooping he got from every kid damn near in that school. Steve Poe, I think, was in like third grade with us when we was whooping his ass.
Mm-hmm.
I got some of that ass too. I had to whoop that ass too. And one of the last fights was me.
Mm.
And they was laughing. They was like, yeah, that's how it is down here, white boy. The honor students whooping kids' ass. Go ahead. Seriously. So Steve Poe moved out, y'all, of Southwest. We never seen another white kid again.
I
Ever.
remember. Go ahead. I didn't catch you. I'm sorry, brother.
And that's what I'm saying. My whole existence was the first time I went to school with white kids for real. I moved out Prince George's County. That was in me and my dad moved at 89, 90 because I was like 12, 13. And I was just graduating sixth grade. And I was supposed to go back to DC school, so I was never supposed to be there. But we moved because my grandparents had died. So my pops moved us out Oxon Hill. I go to the school, G Garden, the shoe garden. When I get there, the first thing I see is like county sheriffs there and a black lady who's the vice principal talking to these white police, talking them down from arresting a kid who stole a car from the school the day before. This school is just as black as my other school. But because I was an honor student, Harvey, I was in the. They had it. It was a magnet class, so I was in the magnet advanced class with the few white people that was still left in PG County. It was a class of us, y'all. It was 22. It was uh 7 white kids, sing a Lex song, um one more Asian girl, and 13 black kids.
Mm.
And I was one of the 13. It wasn't no more white kids there. We literally beat up white kids. They called the sheriffs on us, and the vice principal would send them away. I know. I got them called on me.
Mm.
And she was like, that man father, this shit. She knew my whole story. So she was like, LeVar Smith. No, that was there. She called me to the office. She said, baby, you ain't got to say nothing. I'm going to call your daddy. You just sit there and you keep quiet, okay? So I go into the office. It's police there. I had been going around the school like one hit of quitting white people. Like, cause I just didn't want to be in that school. And I had never did nothing like this before in my life, Harvey. Well, that's a lie. I used to do that in the neighborhood when my aunt used to live out here, and it was
Mm.
mostly white people. When I was a kid, I used to just be dosing white kids, just dosing them. Bang. Seriously. just dosing them for no reason. So I'm walking around the door, boom. It's like me and you can get into it, Harvey, and you can say something to me that's not gonna feel the same way as they said something to me when I was a kid. And I wasn't used to, I always felt like, I grew up in an all black environment, like I told you. And we was like, my school was seriously pro-black. It was named after an abolitionist who was a freed black slave on the Underground Railroad who lived around the corner from where the school was built. So this is the blackest, blacky, blacker than black. That's why I'm like that. School for an elementary kid who already came from a household like that. So when I got put in that environment, Harvey, and I'm hearing these white kids saying shit to me like they black kids, all I'm feeling like is he just called me nigga. Bop!
Wow.
And I was just going around school. And what was so funny, I was a new kid. You would figure a new kid who don't know none of the kids really. I knew one kid, my man Kiwanis Red, because we went to school together. And so he was like, that's my man LeVar. He an honor student. They was like, man, that nigga be stealing people. But he be stealing white kids. He said, we never went to school with him. He not going to let them talk to him any kind of way. So what would happen was people was like joining in. So we had, remember when they had mat wrestling and Jim Harvey? When you had to wrestle each other? Man, they put 3 white boys in the hospital and they suspended that shit.
Yeah, you know what? When I went to school, I went to school with a white boy. Some white kids started from kindergarten to 6th grade, but the neighborhood started to flip, and you had to go over in Oak Park, and we used to go play ball with the white boys, right? And the white girls started taking notice of us. That's when the parents started saying, "You can't play with them kids no more." That kind of thing. Yeah. Because them girls are always, one day they be in their shorts, the next day they in their dress. And then they always, you don't see my panties. And my father always warns that when the little white girls do that, run. And we would get in fights, go on school trips. They wait till we get to the bathroom of the museums and they want to fight us.
See, I like I told you, that's why I be sad. I was like, people be like, you crazy. I was like, nah. When you look at videos of the little youngsters here, people be like, man, them youngers is soldiers. I'm like, them little niggas crazy. They just ain't used to no white people telling them what to do. They never seen that. No. They never seen it. So it's like, and for me, it was even more extreme than because they grow up with little Spanish kids. I never grew up with Spanish kids. All we grew up with, you got Harvey. DC was 95% black most of my life.
And they trying to change
95. That. They done changed that, but it's now 49%. But they still the dominant majority. But think about that, Harvey. We knew guess where the 5% was. That's counting Capitol Hill, Georgetown, Foggy Bottom, with all of the rich politicians and white people. Most of us couldn't afford houses there. But all of the shit they gentrified, that was our grandparents' houses. And our great-grandparents' houses.
Same here in Chicago. Yeah. They always when they talk about Chicago, they only talk about the South Side. But what it is, you got the North Side that's always been white, but there were black.
Exactly.
Point. Because if you watch that Steve McQueen movie, that last movie, Steve McQueen, the one with LeVar Burton in it, what's it called? Hunter? The Hunter? What was it called? I can't remember what it is. It's when the car went off the Marina Towers in the Chicago River. You probably seen it when that car chase with Steve McQueen. And you go look at the scene when you see the blacks and Puerto Ricans. That was the North Side. Now, ain't that many blacks and Puerto Ricans up there. But the West Side, they pushing blacks out. What they want to do is push us out to not the suburbs, but the suburbs, the infrastructures are fucked up. Or they want to push us in the boom. That's what they doing. Because They don't want to go to see. Look at the Bears. They moved from Chicago to Arlington Heights, a suburb.
Harvey, do you understand that that is the same thing that is in action right now in DC? See,
Yeah.
what it is still a good contingency of black people on the northwest and northeast side. That's still too close to Capitol Hill. That's still too close to Georgetown and all of that. They trying to figure a way to knock all that down and make it so expensive where they push people out. Then they about to put the stadium back, and it's about to boom the price over there to where it was never, because people got to understand the stadium was always there. So RFK Stadium was always there. They about to rebuild it and move it back to DC. Well, most of us who got jobs or saved with their parents, got a little money, they moved out to PG because that's right there on the line of DC. You 1 minute away from the city, literally, depending on where you live. The furthest you can be in PG County away from DC is 15 minutes. You're always 15 minutes from DC. So most of them moved out there, which was considered the suburbs. White people started leaving because Marion Barry was giving niggas jobs and people was moving out here. And then the drug dealers was making money. They was moving out here. So what happened? White people rolled and they moved to Clinton and all of Southern Maryland, where our family, like my family, originated from, which is further out. But like you said, it's hard to get back and forth. Traffic fucked up. So now the gentrification happened on the north side, pushing us all to the south side. They ain't really fucking with the south side. What they doing now is sucking the money from PG County. They about to close the Redskins Stadium. By 2030, that's going to be gone. They done already closed Six Flags. And then you notice certain businesses and chain stores are closing here. And I was like, what's going to replace this shit? And people looking at me like, I mean, what's the problem? I'm like, nigga, people work there. That's money. That's money to go out of our community. And then that's going to be an eyesore, that big ass building empty. That big ass stadium not doing nothing. It's just going to be sitting there. They got built in 1995.
That's a new building. Like the United
That's what people got to remember. Yeah, that building is not old. What people got to understand, remember, they was playing at RFK till the 90s. Jack Kent Cook died and bought the stadium out here. That stadium only 30-some years old, y'all. That's not old.
Nope.
They could renovate it, but they're going to knock it down or they're going to leave it there because they don't knock nothing down. If you notice, those stadiums stay there like old ass relics with nothing in them.
Yep. And they try to
fenced off. Right.
Well,
Try to figure out how to repurpose it. Nobody can do nothing with it because it was only there for a football game anyway.
Yeah, I tell you this, President Big Ears, if y'all know who that is, that's former President Obama. He don't even live in Chicago. He live in Martha's Vineyard, house in California, Hawaii. I understand Hawaii. That's where he was born and raised. I get that, but he just keeps a Chicago address for looks. He only come in and vote when he needs to. Well, what happened was he picked Chicago to have his presidential library. Now, that was land that was vacant that he could have put that library on if he wanted to be on the south side. He goes to a Chicago Park District, neighborhood park where black folks lived in, and decided to put his library on there. And you know what's going on? Everybody was afraid they was going to start gentrifying. So that I think it opens sometime next year. Well, guess what's going on? They put Starbucks, all these different stores, and they pricing people out. You know how they pushing them out? They're making their apartments into condos.
Yep. And they not just any condos, are they, Harvey? They these new push button, gold knobs on your toilet, all types of shit. You know, marble floor. I helped build one of them one time. And I even asked, I said, who the fuck supposed to live here? Who making this kind of money?
And what they doing is they taking old two flats and they make them to one big old building. You know how you live downstairs, somebody live upstairs. They gutting them out, making a one big old building. And I'm sitting there like you said, who's gonna live there? You can't afford it.
Right.
Those apartments are more than my mortgage, dog.
Thank you. I said that. I said, who can afford to live? Man, Harvey, this this early 2000s. I think this probably pre 9/11. Yeah, this pre 9/11, y'all. This late 90s, early 2000s. I'm building a building now that they basically saying obsolete. I'm putting gold, literally gold knobs on the motherfucking sinks. Motherfuckers stealing the knobs off the sink. All copperhead marble, all types of shit, push button shit, intercom shit. And they was like, yeah, these are gonna be $2,800 a month. I'm like, what? Now,
Yeah.
I met a motherfucker who live there now. They was crying about their $3,600, $4,000 rent. Talking about they don't even know who live in the penthouse.
I
Talking about,
can't.
oh yeah, those are 6,000, 7,000 a month. I said, why? Why?
I literally seen them change the neighborhood within 16 months. They had drug dealers and hypes and prostitutes within 16 months. You would have never known there was drug dealers and hypes in those areas.
Yeah. Yeah.
So people tell
Yeah.
me they can't get rid of crime or do things, they do it. And that's why Rahm Emanuel closed all them neighborhood schools in Chicago, because if your kids can't go to the neighborhood school, they gotta bust into another school or move out of the neighborhood altogether. So now you got empty homes, empty apartments, empty schools. Well, guess what some of the schools are being done? They're either being knocked down or they turn them into condos. This shit is not.
Mm-hmm.
And this is why I get frustrated. Look, I get it. Vice President Harris wasn't everybody's cup of tea, right? But we knew what she was on. We knew that we could probably work with her a little bit. But because we were so disappointed with Obama, we projected all our anger on her. And look what we got.
Her.
And look what we
That's
got.
what I kept telling people. I kept saying we gotta stop acting like Obama wasn't. I mean, like Donald Trump wasn't a whole white man. Okay, you ain't like Kamala Harris because you thought she was an Indian or a Jamaican or a motherfucking Hindu or whatever you thought she was. Okay, I'm with you, champ. But guess what? At the end of the day, I don't know if she black, but I definitely know he's white.
Yeah.
And that's good enough for me, right there.
and she never did not deny her blackness. She always identified as black. She went to a historical black college. So in my book, I'd rather deal with her than deal with an orange dude. And what happened was,
I'm about to say,
he got in the office, and now these companies are going to overdrive. They are pushing people out of neighborhoods. And I've been warning people about this. I said, people said, my rent went up. If you can't pay for where you lay your head at, where you going to go? Everybody thinks the suburbs is a place. If the suburb structure was okay, fine. But then if everybody's running to the suburbs and they let everybody do whatever they want, you didn't move into a worse situation. If you don't have a running vehicle, I live in the burbs. I live in the Chicago area. I live in the burbs, right? I got to run a vehicle. I can go into a dealership and say, hey, I ain't putting no money down because my credit and stuff, right? I got options. But if you live in a city, you rely on public transportation to get to where you at, you screwed. So that's why Trump and them rolling back everything. So when you see all these people running to neighborhoods they never been in before, it's by design. That's why he want to send the National Guard into these neighborhoods. See, a lot of people don't realize.
Stop saying that goofy shit. And stop saying that goofy shit, people. And y'all know who y'all are. I know y'all gonna listen to this. Stop saying that goofy shit. Well, we don't know if she wouldn't have done the same thing. She wasn't remotely saying she was gonna do no shit like that. She was telling you he was gonna do shit like that and telling you she gonna do the opposite. Look, all I know is this. At the very best, she would have gave us 25,000 to start up. I'd have got an extra 3,000 for being a good dad. She'd have been working for this economy to be going down, not up. We wouldn't be talking about Russia, Ukraine, Motherfuckers getting shot for saying dumb shit all over the country. She'd have been trying to work on it at the very best. At the very worst, she would have been a phony cosplayer who tried hard to fit in, who had at least some knowledge and respect of the culture. I can deal with that than a cross burning white supremacist any day of the week.
And that's why
That's all I'm saying.
And that's why I was telling people, because some of my family and friends were mad at me. I'm like, this ain't the time to protest vote. I said, I get it at the local level, but I said, at least if you're gonna vote, vote wise at the local level. That's where the moving and shaking start. The federal government now, Trump, this dude talking about that he don't want no more elections, and he just might pull this shit off. And everybody's sitting here like, we should have did this. No, y'all had a chance. Y'all don't want to listen to black folk. They tried to divide black men and black women, saying that black men are going to be the reason. Nobody want to lecture these other groups. They voted against their own interests, and they want us to save everybody. Why the black community ain't saying nothing? Why should we at this point? And why should black men say anything to anybody? Because y'all tried to make us the villain of the story. But the thing is, I see some people out on social media saying we make sure Kamala get in office. I don't want to be bragging about that, considering what's going on right now, because everybody's getting fucked in the ass.
Basically.
Don't let Obama. I know Obama disappointed a lot of people, but now y'all gonna project on everybody like Chicago. I was telling people about Mayor Lightfoot. She was a good mayor. The media was talking about her. I said, y'all gonna get somebody here. It's gonna be a lot worse. And now Chicago don't get a white man. Chicago get a black man.
No, Harvey. Let me throw the flag. I'm sorry. I ain't gonna let you do that. I love you. I ain't gonna let you do that. I'm gonna call a spade a spade. I call balls and strikes. Our people was not listening to the news about Lori Lightfoot. They were listening to Jason Black.
Yeah.
That's who they were listening to.
Yeah.
Because every motherfucking talk, it got to the point where I was hearing people on the news saying shit that Jason Black was saying. Jason Black even came on TV on one of his shit and said that they hear us. They hear us. And I said, yeah, damn. Everybody talking about Lloyd Lightfoot the same way. So, no, it was our people did not listen to. We got caught up balls and strikes now, Harvey. I know. I love them. I love our.
No, I agree with you. Let me say this again. When I remember, I was warning everybody. I said, if you're not from here and don't know the politics of Illinois, Chicago, stay out of this. Like me, I hear shit about New York. You know, I don't talk about New York like that because I don't know all the rules and.
Amen.
Like you talk about your area, all I know is national politics. I can't talk about the Mayor Bowser, and I can't do that. I can listen, but when they start making fun of her in cartoons and on TV, I'm like, this is personal.
That's going too far, right? Because the shit that we got against Mayor Bowser is not the same thing that they got against her.
Exactly. And what it was, Lightfoot, see, first, whatever she's doing in the background, that's her business. I ain't gay, ain't got nothing to do with me. Whether I agree with it or not, they ain't got nothing to do with me.
Ain't got nothing to do with me, yeah.
She was getting shit done, but what happened was, you know how we do. We want each other to jump higher and higher. You need to do this. It don't work that way when you got a city council. It don't work that way when you got city departments. Because they'll put a lawsuit on your ass. They'll muck up everything. So what happened was,
I'm about to say, you got people you got to work with that. Just because you the mayor, that don't give you all power to wield. You still got that council you got to abide by and work with, and all of them ain't Democrats.
No, and that's why I keep telling everybody. So the Hispanics do that. Ray Lopez, I keep telling y'all about that little motherfuckers are opportunists. And so what happened was he was on TV, going on Fox to Tucker Carlson badmouth her right along with the Trump administration. I said, don't y'all see, if Donald Trump and them are slamming Lightfoot, something got to be going on. And you have to understand the whites here, Chicago, well, Illinois is still a segregated place. I'm telling you right now, if y'all come to Chicago, and brother, if you ever came to Chicago, I take you around. I say, okay, you see this neighborhood? It's a imaginary line. You don't cross over there. I thought everybody was cool with each other. No. Mm-mm. No, let me see exactly what Spidey said. No, even as 007 Spidey said, Lightfoot, they did not want to have that power. The night she won, and she mentioned Harold, when she invoked Harold Washington, the first black man, I knew that she'd be a one-term mayor. I knew it.
Yeah.
And our own people helped cut her throat. And then Brandon Johnson come in being an opportunist, pandering to the Hispanic community, and he don't give a damn. He don't listen to nobody. Now, even when he making a point, he still ain't listening to nobody. And everybody now, they said, we ain't going to vote for him. I said, now, guess who's going to get it? Chicago going to be just like California. Look how them Negroes they
Yep.
California.
Yep.
Watch what's going to happen.
They're going to change Emmett Till Drive to Emilio Trujillo Drive. Niggas going to be mad as shit. Ain't going to be nothing you can do.
One of my childhood, but two of my childhood homes, one Hispanic family went in there and bought it. The other one bought it and flipped it and sold it for way more than it's worth. Because out of curiosity, just right before my father started getting sick, and I get these real estate emails. I get all the listings in the Chicago and Northwest Indiana, right? And so I was on for sale. And so I said, they didn't cut the trees down and shit, because they always fuck up something, right? So I said, I'm curious. Let me see if they're going to let me come see it, set an appointment. So the guy said, yeah. So I drove about like an hour away from where I live to my childhood home. I go up in there, right? They gutted everything. So the guy got comfortable. He found out I was a veteran. And he said, yeah, me and my brother and sister, we bought this house. We bought one, we flipped it, and we didn't got about 10 of them. And on this west side, man, these people don't know what they got. And I'm like, you do know I'm black. You talk to a brother, And he just telling me how they plan it. And I kid you not, the Hispanics got pushed out of their neighborhood, so they pushing us out of our neighborhood. And so my aunt lives in that area. That's in the news when they made national news. They was in that park at Phil House. My aunt still live over there, right? My aunt said she got like 5 new Hispanic neighbors. She said they don't respect nobody's property. They play that music all night. And she said, I give it another 5 years. There won't be no blacks in that area. And once they push us out, we ain't getting back in there.
Yep. That's their plan. I keep telling people, man.
And these young brothers, go ahead, brother. I'm sorry.
Nah, go ahead. Nah.
These young brothers and sisters, they ain't paying attention. Let me tell you something. We technically is that last generation that we was aware of everything. These folks, when it gets on top of them, that's when like we got to do something. When it's on top of you, sometimes it's too late. Because
if you got grandkids and kids like my son age, this preteen and teens, if you ain't already schooling them, you better get to work, and you better work vigorously. And I know it sounds like a lot, and yeah, you're gonna meet resistance. You know why? Because you neglected it for so long. So it's gonna be hard to force that information on them. It's gonna seem like they're gonna try to clash and reject it at first, but you're gonna have to find a way to massage it and find a way to integrate that into all of the bullshit you done fed your kids for the last 20 years. Because to be honest, us as a group of people, we've been walking around like we ain't been seeing no racism.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
We have. If we being honest, we stopped seeing racism since I feel like this since Rodney King. We stopped seeing racism since at the OJ. We felt like, okay, we got him. We good. But niggas was still getting beat. Sean Bell still was happening. And shit like that was still happening. But niggas wasn't really caring.
What it was,
it took COVID.
We got comfortable. What it is, us Gen Xers, we thought, man, we can go out to the club. Everybody listen to our music. We partying with people, and we went to sleep. But our little brothers and sisters, nieces and nephews, and our children, they're like, oh, everything's all good. We got a black president now.
Yeah.
And they don't and then people don't realize somebody laughing in your face, but when you turn your back, oh, I hate that motherfucker. You know, they don't understand the realities of the world until it's smacked in the face, and then they want somebody like, what are we gonna do? What do you mean, what are we gonna do? We warned y'all. We warned you. When we was kids, me and you can go into a fast food restaurant and get a part-time job somewhere. We can go get a hustle going real quick. And then if me and you went to the military, they don't want they don't want us in the military anymore. So what do you got to fall back on? They didn't legalize weed in the community. And watch, they're gonna stop legalizing other hard drugs. So what you gonna do then? Smash and grab, they changing the law for that, buddy. They give them
I don't think they're gonna legalize the other hard drugs, Harvey. That's where I'm gonna give you pushback. I don't think so. I think what they're gonna do, I think they're gonna build more prisons. I think they're gonna try to flip flop on weed at the last minute. And if we don't get nobody in office to do nothing, all that shit that it's gonna be like, okay, yeah, the places that got dispensaries can have dispensaries. Get caught anywhere outside of that, we locking your ass up like you a kingpin.
Yeah,
I don't care if it came from a store.
Yeah, because they was arguing. These cops was on the news last week. They opened a dispensary over, I think, somewhere on the north side of downtown, and people in the neighborhood was complaining. And the alderman block, they said, "Wait a minute, you was just arresting us 10 years ago. Now you up here want to sell this shit back to us? Are you fucking crazy?" Yeah. And the cops mad. Yeah. I can't blame them. Like me, I was black folks here in Illinois. I'd be suing. You destroyed our communities. Y'all pumped that shit in our communities. Y'all sent brothers to jail for a nickel bag, and now y'all got distributed in every corner.
Harvey, you talking to a nigga who was a victim of it. I said that shit. I said the nerve of it. I'm sitting here I wrote, that's how I got my job. I literally wrote it when they asked, have you ever been convicted of a felony, right? And they asked you to explain. I said, I literally wrote, y'all, I find it very insulting that I have to be treated like a criminal when now the very thing I have to admit I did, the state is doing. And that's what I wrote. I got my job, y'all. Somebody read that shit. I fucked them up. I said, I find it insulting that the same thing the state is doing now, I went to jail for, and I'm being treated like a criminal when they just found out that no, hey, what I was doing wasn't really that bad. And guess what? I knew that. That's why I was doing it. People knew what crack was. People knew what cocaine was. Motherfuckers knew what alcohol was. You was locking niggas up for joints, blunts. A lot of these kids got records because all they did was stood around and smoked a blunt.
Yeah, it's something talking shit have been doing since the beginning of time.
Yeah.
Yes,
they ain't do
nothing.
Ain't do nothing. All they did was stand there, smoke weed. You done ruined their life. Oh, he had crack on him. He had a gun on him. Yeah. Why was society so bad that this dude, all he was really wanting to do was sit here and smoke a joint with his friends? Why he got a gun on him? Why he got crack on him? Like you said, because then them fast food jobs start drying up.
And the thing is, if you do see a fast food job, you don't even see us in there anymore. If you do, they throw us on a Friday and Saturday's night or Sunday morning.
Yeah, because they know they can hang out and you can't, and they know it's gonna be challenging for you to come, so they can try to fire you.
Exactly. And then you don't see a lot of men in management anymore. They ain't chase the men out of sexual harassment. So females, and I ain't trying to be funny. If you see guys in there, they usually work in the back or they're on the front register and they're kind of, they feminine. They just keep it real. This shit was by design. They started doing this shit when me and you was in grammar school back in the 80s. We saw it when they started telling our parents, You can't touch your kids anymore. So our younger siblings, they got away with murder, and now their kids got away with murder. So you had almost 40 years of motherfuckers doing whatever the hell they wanted to do, and we paying for it. We paying for it, and now people look at them, look at them. I don't have any kids. I mean, it may not be my thing to have children. It ain't like I ain't tried to meet somebody, but I got nieces and nephews. I got cousins. I'm going to spread that. My parents spread to me because I was blessed to have a parent that said, hey, don't do this, don't do that. Don't let your left know what your right hand is doing. What comes off your tongue, you can never take it back. You can say sorry all day, but you said it. Don't go in no wrong. Don't do these dumb things that we see they do. They tell you it's okay to turn around and judge you on. I remember when girls were pregnant, they would disappear and go to an all-girls school, go out of state. Now they got daycares in the schools. Come on, man. We letting them bring us to slaughter. And then you got these brothers and sisters out here, and let me say this again. I'm not condoning everybody who comes from outside of America. But when y'all come over to America, y'all go up there and y'all all up under them because they know y'all not gonna put up a fight. Y'all get in positions and y'all cut our throats. The congressional black
and
caucus.
why ain't that disrespectful that a motherfucker? Because I got folks from the diaspora, and they tell the truth. They were like, man, I see what brothers be talking about sometimes because this is bullshit. And I always want to know why it is, because he even want to know why it is that it's not insulting that they trying to strip your blackness. Why is that not insulting? Like, he literally told me a time he was in the military and somebody tried to tell him, "Or you not like them, you Haitian." He's like, "The fuck you mean?" Why? He said, "First of all, motherfucker, I'm from Florida." He said, "And what you mean? What's the difference?" He said he literally tried to separate me. And I said, "Yeah, I done seen them do. We done seen that in the military, have we all? Oh no, you Jamaican. You ain't like, fuck you mean he Jamaican?"
Because they think they more docile. They think they're not gonna put up a fight. They figure black Americans, we ungrateful. We the troublemakers. Like you said earlier, when they go adopt black kids from across the globe, but you got black kids here, they won't do that because black kids at a particular age experience racism. When me and you was 4 or 5 years old, we knew what the word nigga meant when they said it. We knew when they was go in. You get the kid that's so, I'm so thankful. That's why all them dance videos, they be smiling. Look at us, we're dancing, we're happy. Oh, look at little choo choo, chang chang, boo boo boo. Bring them over here to America and name them Stacy and Billy and tell them the big bad Americans don't. That's why Jillian Michaels felt comfortable saying what she did. Hey, let me hold on a second. Let me take a phone call real quick. My aunt called.
No, do your thing, man. Do your thing. We've been on for a minute anyway.
Okay, hold on. I'll be right back.
Bet. Yeah, y'all getting exclusive from LVZ and y'all man Harvey Your World, aka Mr. Superboy. I was gonna put that in the title, but I said nah. I want to surprise everybody. Surprise folks. Because I know people have been asking, "Bob, when we talk to Harvey? You talk to Harvey?" You know it, Bert. We back here, back on the grind. So, Charlie Kirk, he got murked. That was balls by accident. Charlie Kirk, he got murked. Talking about blacks and then whites put them in the dirt. People say he got a family. That shit gonna hurt. Talk that shit to LVZ. That shit do not work. Charlie Kirk was a jerk. Big head dumbass. Talk bad about MLK with his racist punk ass. But now he's laying down there in a cold ass slab. With Jeffrey Epstein and the devil kicking him in his no good ass. So all black folks rejoice. Be happy he's gone. Don't listen to no Peckerwood who say that you wrong. Cause Charlie Kirk was a piece of shit and his ass was no good. And if they ass don't like it, you say, do you know who you talking to, Peckerwood? That's some LVZ. That's some Dolomite type shit for y'all. That was them Dolomite bars. Y'all don't know nothing about no Dolomite bars. Talk about, oh, it was the left. No, it wasn't the left. Only thing left
Sorry
was
about that.
Charlie Kirk.
That was my aunt calling me about
Oh,
Charlie
no,
Kirk. You know, if you saw the video on his shirt, it was a black. Everybody kept saying about it was a black on his shirt. Why his shirt blew up? What happened was the guy shot the plate, and it cracked, and it ricocheted, and the plate that shirt popped up and went his head up his throat.
Okay.
That's why if you look at that video, it's a black thing. He had a vest on, and the guy hit it. They said the person's transgender, made a song. My aunt was letting me know she thought I was watching the news, and I told her I was doing a live stream and everything. But yeah, this is getting better and better. And I think
he's transgender.
Transgender. He said transgender. Woo-wee.
I was going to say that. I was going to say that too. I was about to say how they know it's a he. Could be transgender.
Yeah. And when we finish this, I'm gonna grab me something to eat, but I'm gonna be watching the news for the next 2 days. But you know what, folks? He's still gone. He put that.
Yeah, this ain't gonna bring it back.
He ain't coming back. And I want to make sure y'all, those of y'all listening to me and Brother Var, make mental notes of all these people I have talking about. We feel sorry for him and his family. Remember, when black folks,
I ain't gonna bring them back.
None of these people came out and said, tone that rhetoric down. When Charlie Kirk came out a day after Dexter King died, he talked about Dexter King and Martin Luther King. Nobody said, yo, man, Martin Luther King III and Bernie just lost their brother, and you're going to talk about their dad that was taken away from them when they was children? And then they got black colleges on lockdown. We ain't did nothing. Why is it that why y'all coming at us? We ain't killing y'all people. Black folk, we
didn't do it.
We didn't do it. And then you got white
I'm minding my black bit. I'm minding my black business, eating my watermelon, drinking my Kool-Aid, like y'all said, right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing. And listen to my rap music.
And you got white folks going hard saying they glad he's died. I heard not one black person say we happy he dead. We say we ain't out here crying for him like that. You know, it is what it is. Remember when we made fun of the the people that died in that supermarket when that white guy he did all this, and everybody is trying to rewrite history. They talk about putting a statue of him.
Harvey. Well, yeah, because Harvey, I'm gonna tell you this. This my take on it. Didn't they just sell the gun that killed Trayvon Martin?
Yep.
So I mean, there you go. So there you go. That's it right there. That's my argument right there.
They come.
Dude, they
Help George Zimmerman.
come on, man. So I don't want to hear it. I can't help. I don't know what you want me to say.
This dude.
What? Y'all just sold the gun. They killed y'all still hold that man's name in esteem. He still has police protection all across the globe. Y'all made Darren Wilson a millionaire. Y'all just made a white lady a millionaire just for calling a little black kid a nigger. So when I look at shit that Daniel Penny got to sit with the president for choking a homeless black person out who just got loud on the subway in New York, when I thought that's what homeless people do on the subway in New York. Get loud. That's what I thought homeless people who drunk anywhere in any city does sometimes. And normally what I do is ignore them and laugh depending on what they saying, and then mind my business because they ain't really gonna do nothing. They're drunk and homeless.
Or give if I got a little change to shut them up. Here, man, here goes some change. Here goes $1. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. And like you said, either ignore them or get away from them. Because we ain't seen and there's a lot of people that got mental health issues. Like that brother on that train. I know right now people saying they think it's an AI video. I don't think so. You can look at that brother. There was something wrong with him. You can tell.
It happened, yeah, but yeah, I don't agree with Van Jones very many times, but this time I do. That man, Van Jones said obviously that man was hurt. That man that hurt people. He said, I don't get why this before Charlie Kirk, 2 days before Charlie Kirk got murked. He said, this is why I don't understand why Charlie Kirk gonna make. He said, we don't know that man did that because she was white. He was like, we don't know why that man. We know he was hurting, and we need to find a way to get people the help they need. This is about mental health, right? He said, this is a thing about mental health. I said, go ahead, Van Jones. So that's about Harvey. Ain't that what they say when they don't say we need to take the guns? They say this about mental health. So that right. So this ain't about no black people. This about mental health.
And let me remind
don't y'all say that black people got low IQs and all of that? So okay. So what you just doing? Take advantage of people with low IQs. That's what you do.
And
really? Is that the society you are?
I'm gonna use their history back. You know when they start closing mental institutions up under Ronald Reagan? That was 40-something years ago. Reagan went in office.
Yep.
So for 40-something years, I want y'all to think about that. They've been closing mental health institutes, cutting funds and stuff, right? Then on top of that, when they talk about who was that? You just said something else about you said something else. I just lost my thought. You said it was something else about mental health. When they do a mass shooting and everything, mental health. We shouldn't pass judgment. Shouldn't we not pass judgment against this guy? His mama begged for help. Think about that. When we there's obvious mental health. Nah, y'all just evil. Y'all just doing it cause of race. Let me say this again. Black folk ain't fucking white folk just to fuck with white folk. Because we know the law ain't evil. We know it. Right now, if me and you went out here and the white guy hit us and he cried or yelled loud enough, me and you gonna be the guilty ones. Even we got look how that brother was in college and that white girl spit and kicked him in the balls and he responded, but he was the bad guy. Remember
I don't know which one you talk about, Harvey. Only reason I don't know because that happened like 7 different times.
Yeah. And then what's the Alpha Winston team? He killed 4 people. And you know what the judge said? Because he's rich, he didn't know any better. Wait a minute, hold on. So if a rich kid can kill 4 people, and because he's rich, he didn't know no better. What if it's a poor kid and never been exposed? When we should get the same thought process? No, we ain't gonna do that.
Yeah.
No, we ain't gonna do that.
That shit crazy. It's funny you said that because I remember that it was Kareem Hunt at the Chiefs that happened to. That bitch was at his house. He tried to tell her, no, you can't come in. She hit him. He slammed her down, then kicked her in the foot while she was down, and they got mad at him. Then the other one was Joe Mixon. He in a pizza shop, minding his business. She get up, go at him, spit at him, kick him in the balls, call him a nigga. He slapped the shit out of her, and then he became the bad guy. Then another athlete got hit like that. I forgot who it was. It happened like 4 different times.
It's always the same thing. And let me say something again to the brothers. Look, man, I get it. Some of our sisters, they do some shit that irk us. But right now, I don't think it's the best time for y'all to be stepping out the community.
Yeah, Becky surfing. Becky
Yeah.
surfing is, you might well just go to the police and punch him in the face right now.
Give me the handcuffs. Open the jail
Yeah,
cell. I like myself.
just do that. Yeah, just do that. That's safer than Becky surfing right now.
Because I see a lot, because I've been seeing a lot of Caucasian women, a lot of this racism, these white women been leading it. Yeah, I don't know if y'all been noticing. If you go on social media, there's always a white woman saying something about black folk, starting shit. And I'm sitting there, brothers still playing this game. Look, I'm not saying everybody outside of the black community is racist, but use reality. If these women voted against their own interests last November, and you think they're going to lay up with a black man, think about that. If you didn't want a black woman to be your president, but you're going to then turn around and split with a black man, come on, man. Y'all got to be naive. I done had so many white women flirt with me, and they be like, oh, you smell good. And I'm like, okay, thank you. I keep it moving.
Do y'all understand this about what Harvey is saying? Do people understand this about white women knew that Kamala Harris would give them more resources and more benefits by being president than they ever had? White women knew that. They knew that. You know how they knew, y'all? Barack Obama is how they knew. Barack Obama is how they knew. Let me say it one more time. White women knew that they would get more perks and more benefits for Barack because of Barack Obama. Know why? Because that's what happened. That's what happened. You know what they did? They voted against everything he gave them and said it was woke, it was soft, it was racist, and they benefited. DEI, all of that. CRT. They said it was all right. They said it was all of that, y'all. They literally voted against their own progress and said, no, I don't. And now look, the smart ones are like, what the fuck are you doing? They not even paying attention. These bitches ain't gonna be able to vote if they ain't got their husband last name. Or if they do got their husband last name and don't got their birth certificate in some place.
Yeah, let me tell you this. Okay, whether y'all agree with abortion or not, I think that's a woman's choice, her and a man. That's their choice. Every woman can't carry a child. You know what I mean? But think this. They voted against abortion. That white lady in Florida, she had health issues. She went to the governor and said, fuck that. I need you to help me. He made an exception for the ass. But when you get raped or something happened to you, you got to die. Look how that sister, they made that sister keep her baby in her, and she was dead.
She dead.
She dead. All that shit. They just made the fact, and then the baby come out with health issues and shit. They like, oh well.
Yeah. And now look, the father, he don't got no real way. Oh, nigga, you should have thought about that. You should have wore a condom. Huh? Yeah, you and this little nigga, hopefully it doesn't die when it grows up. But you can't give it an abortion. Man, if y'all get the fuck out of here, mind your damn business. How about this? Because this is my feeling on abortion. I've always said it. People think it's some gotcha when they say it to me when I say I'm not anti-abortion. It's not no gotcha, because I'm gonna tell you the first thing my father said: if you're not pro-abortion, that means you pro-crying. That motherfucker said, "What you mean?" The motherfucker, you know what it take to raise a kid, you son of a bitch. And if you don't got it, You know what the fuck you gonna do to that human being. You know what the hell you gonna do to the rest of the world. You know what the hell. United people don't even think of ramifications.
Nope.
Man, it's better to be an angel than a broke black person in this country. Remember, I said it like that. It's better to be an angel than a broke black person in this country. I say it one more time. It's better to be an angel than a broke black person in this country, especially with nobody to fight for you.
And I want people to understand, and we're not advocating abortion or nothing. Like, we just telling you that's not
No.
butting into people's business, because you don't know. Like, it
Yeah.
takes, like, I'm not trying to compare humans to animals. I had a service dog. Right, my service dog died in January. I want to get another one, but I can't afford it now. So just imagine a baby where you got to buy constant formula, diapers, they're growing, doctor's appointments, they sick, and you don't, and then you got to find a babysitter. They didn't cut all these programs to destroy us. And a lot of y'all got mad. Go ahead, brother.
And all of that, as a single father, all of that, and you still got to eat too.
Thank you. You still got to pay your mortgage or your rent. Got to pay your light, your phone, your gas, your water, and everything now. Thank you. Everything now, you paying for everything. Everything. I kid you not, the last 3 months, every time I turn around, a bill pop up, I'm like, damn, they want $30. Damn, they want $40. What the fuck? Next month, they're going to do my escrow analysis. I'm nervous because they can jack prices because my interest rate is low. They want me to refinance. I ain't refinance. How many people gonna say they got a 3.5 interest rate? Now, in today's interest rates, anywhere from 7 to 8%, right? I have a 3.5. Do you think I'm gonna mess that up? So what they're gonna do is try to waze it away, like, oh, we gotta go up on your mortgage. You gotta pay this amount. I'm going to put that shit on a credit card, man.
Right. That my man Jeff saying that. Look, motherfuckers got to do that and putting food on credit cards and shit like, man, shit get harder, man. These people better pay attention. These Peckerwoods ain't making no easier. These Peckerwoods, in fact, work their ass off to make it harder for us right now. And man, we seriously, man, we a lot of us fell for the okie doke by listening to people from our community who we thought had our best intentions, and right now we being like the white man, y'all. I'm saying a lot of us just being too prideful to admit we made a mistake.
And like I say, I don't know everything, but I do learn from mistakes. I do pay attention. And I keep telling y'all, like, Vice President Harris had a book come out yesterday. Or I think it's come out already. I think they just talking about books. Mm-hmm. And everybody, yesterday morning, I was watching the news. They said, why she's bringing up the past? What was they just doing in the beginning of the first 6 months of the year, bringing up the past? Now that she gonna give us, say they don't want to hear it because she know all the bodies are buried. Like, people, like, she called out
her. Ain't that the past?
Say again.
Anytime they talk about her, ain't that the past? She ain't holding office.
And then people need to remember the job of the vice president. She's the vice president. She didn't set policy. Biden set policy. I ain't never heard nobody hold. Only vice president I know that had that kind of power was Dick Cheney.
Dick Cheney. Even George Bush Sr. didn't have. Even George Bush Sr. with a retarded president with all that shit he had going on, Iran, Contra, all of that. He had power, but him and Reagan was moving together.
Yep.
Dick Cheney was calling shots.
Because Bush was the head of the CIA. People forget that Bush Sr. was the head of the CIA at one time. He was still.
People don't know the. Right. And when he was head of the CIA, Rumsfeld and Cheney was in Reagan cabinet too.
And people don't forget,
they knew each other.
Rumsfeld met Saddam Hussein, came to Detroit back in the late 70s and sat with Donald Rumsfeld. So when everybody started talking about who's the bad guy, I said, y'all, this is why I keep telling y'all, Control your dollar, know your history, because a lot of y'all don't know what y'all talking about. I don't claim to know everything, but I can go back and say, yo, this happened. I might make mistake on the year. I might pronounce a name, but I guarantee you gonna be like, damn, he sure said it.
You know who the fuck we talking about. Look, y'all know what the hell. All you gotta do is research it. It's a damn documentary where white folks who ain't scared to tell the truth, and I tell y'all that, understand. You gotta find a white person who ain't scared to tell the truth.
Because
It's some of them who ain't scared to tell the truth.
nah, because they know they not too many eyes on us. See, me and you, they can
Right.
brush us easy, like, oh, they black. They didn't go what school they go to, what neighborhood they live in. But see, me and you, we
Right.
still read. When we was kids, we used to watch PBS. Why do you think they want to get rid of PBS? Because all them documentaries, all them things that they don't tell you in school. Because our parents made us go to the library. Our parents made us read the newspaper. Our parents didn't pussyfoot around and say, no, we're not going to do that. They told us, our fathers told us how the world really worked. That's why when we got 10 years old, we wasn't shocked. We was like, I can't believe it. I thought they were my friends. Yeah, right.
Nope. We already knew. I knew. Look, my mom passed when I'm like 2, going on 3 that year. I stayed with my aunt, who was actually out here in PG County. They had just moved, her sister. So I'm staying out there. I came back with my father. A lot of people don't know like what they did. They got the Sesame Street special. That's why I loved Sesame Street growing up. Cause Sesame Street had that one motherfucking episode where somebody died. And they talked about it.
Mr. Hooper.
Right. And that happened in the 70s. And they kept playing that for me. And it helped me as a kid understand. Yeah. So shit like that. And I remember that when they showed that on Sesame Street, they was talking. I was watching the joint when they was talking about they're gonna shut down PBS. And I was like, shoot, that's why I take Mimi to Sesame Place. That's why I still watch Sesame Street. That's why I still joke about Mr. Rogers, PBS. And then they showed that one episode. And seriously, y'all, I ain't gonna lie. Tears came. I went, oh shit, I remember that.
Big Bird was like, where is he at? Where's Mr. Hooper at?
Yeah.
He said, Big Bird.
Yeah.
God, I remember that. That's one childhood memory I think everyone who's in their 40s.
Yeah, I remember. I don't know how, but they made sure I always saw that. And that joint, for real, it helped me as a little kid. It helped me figure it out. I was like, okay.
You remember Electric Company? Morgan Freeman was on there. A lot of people forget that's where he got his start. It's Electric Company. He was Easy Rider. Bill Cosby, Reno, Spider-Man, who didn't speak. Spider-Man. I still remember 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Nobody knows who you are.
Yeah. Spider-Man.
Nobody knows who you are. Where are you coming from, Spider-Man? Nobody knows who you are. I know what you're talking about. Look, while I was doing a moving job, this white dude around the same age we was talking. I said, see, get one of them vans and get the busing out there like Captain America. I said, see, y'all youngers don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. He said, you really right. And look, he looked at me and I said, why you look at me like that, James? He said, you don't look that old. I said, you remember that shit? He said, man, that's when TV was, I said, black and white.
And you had to go on it. You had to stand up.
And look, this a white dude, my age. And he was like, yep, I remember that when he come out of the van. And he bust out laughing. He said, man, he said, you got a good memory. He said, I hadn't thought about that in a while.
Yeah, Contact.
I said, man.
Contact. Yeah, remember that? Contact. It's a reason. Yep. Everybody wants contact. Let's make contact.
I was laughing about fucking. I seen a joint referencing Matthew Starter the other day.
Oh man, when he was Louis Gossett Jr.
Yep.
Oh
yep. Matthew Starter.
You remember Auto Man?
Yeah.
I got it on DVD,
I remember
man.
Auto Man. I remember Auto Man. I used to watch too much TV just like you.
Blue Thunder.
Yep.
What's the guy? Jaffo. Blue Thunder. We watched.
That's the helicopters, right?
Blue Thunder, Street Hawk.
Blue Thunder was the helicopters. Yeah.
You
Look, as kids, y'all, that's how they could sell Knight Rider to us. Cause we like objects like helicopters and jets and shit like that more than we like people. So they just gave us whole shows like Dukes of Hazzard.
Duke of Hazzard. The General Lee jumping over
yeah, people realized they was like, damn, we could have anybody be the Duke boys. I said, damn. The company realized don't nobody really get
Coy and Troy.
Right.
Coy and Troy, what was his name?
Coy and Vance.
Man.
Coy and Vance. Everybody give a fuck about that. All right, just jump over something with the car and hurry up.
Coy, the General Lee. And we didn't know nothing about the Confederate flag. We wasn't thinking like that until we got using we like, wait a minute, hold on a second. Oh, the after school special. With
Luther. With Luther.
Zach.
Now. We coming in. You know that I'm Zach. And I got the knack. That's what Luther used to sing to the kids. That's how you knew when the world changed, y'all.
People don't know.
John Legend don't be singing to the kids. He be cooning.
Voyagers, Punky Brewster. Our parents used to watch Falcon Crest, Dynasty, Not Landing.
Yeah. Nah, my father shit was Soap. You remember Soap?
Soap. When Billy Crystal was the gay and Benson.
Yeah, Billy Crystal was the gay dude.
Yeah, and the guy puppet.
Yeah. And the head of that show was the guy that my father liked most, Bert. He never starred in nothing really ever again, except that joint where he was the doctor.
Man, Barney Miller.
Yeah. Nah, come on, man. And then WKRP on your ass.
They had the WKRP got the best thing. WKRP.
That's right.
Daddy.
Baby, if you ever wondered whatever became of me. I'm living on the air in Cincinnati, WKRP. I'm in WKRP in Cincinnati. Yay! That was my Harvey.
Man, we watched Silver Spoon, Give Me a Break, Webster.
All them motherfucking little races. Yeah, we used to watch them white supremacist bastards. Ricky Schroeder and Joey Law and Luke Cross. Remember Joey had the episode with the black face?
Yeah, and now what he said now?
And Nell looked at him like, I will slap the shit out of you.
Sam was mad at her and she said, put blackface on. And Nell said, I you would call me a nigga. Nigga.
I would never say that on Nell.
You remember Fame? Leroy.
Yeah.
Leroy.
Hell yeah.
Because he was single.
Damn right.
Episode, he said, remember Leroy?
With Coco and motherfucking my girl and motherfucking Norm Nixon, Debbie Allen.
Debbie Allen, you know that the old girl, the heavy set white chick with the brunette. Me and my brother just call her double cheeseburger. To this day, I don't know why we call her. I guess that's our way of calling a fat woman fat. We call her double cheeseburger. Oh man,
the big old.
And then what else we used to watch? $6 Million Man.
Yeah, Buck Rogers.
Buck Rogers, 2025.
Come on, hey Harvey, come on, Harvey, you still ain't name our shit. You know, David Banner, Dr. David Banner.
Do do do.
Yeah. Right. At the end, he always walking. They play that piano music.
Do 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 do.
Doo, doo,
Oh, Kim
doo,
Fields. Let me
doo.
tell you something. I'm gonna tell y'all about Kim Fields. I'm gonna tell you, every female I date, I think I've been chasing after Kim Fields. Because the other day, I was about 4 years ago, I'm watching Facts Like Me TV had it on in the morning, right? And I'm looking at, I said, why does she sound like somebody I know? And all of a sudden, all the females since high school up until this point, I was like, oh my God, I got a type. Kim Fields, let me tell you, Kim Fields was my crush. Oh, Thelma from Good Times, and I ain't gonna lie, Linda Carter for obvious reasons, and Marsha.
Yeah, Wonder Woman.
Yeah, and when you
Motherfucking Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman, and I'm telling you, if you watch an episode of Wonder Woman, you'll laugh. If you're a guy, you like, yeah, oh yeah, Chico and the Man. Remember Chico and the Man? Chico.
Hell yeah, I used to love the song. I used to love that motherfucker Freddie Prinze singing. He sing Paco, don't you worry. Sing that.
And then the end, do Chico and Man.
And the man. I tried to watch one of them episodes like a few years ago on YouTube. I fell asleep every time. I said, yep, that's how I remember them. Somebody started laughing like shit. I said, I ain't gonna lie. My father used to have this shit on. And I said, see, this back in the day when it wasn't no damn TV in your room.
No,
you sat and watched TV with your family.
Or you had that black and white TV everybody watched. And your parents,
right, and y'all all sat around watch TV, and that's just what you watch. That's why we know them grown up ass show, TJ Hooker and shit like that. That's why we were watching them old shows. Them shows was for grown people.
Yeah, the father. I'm the no stunt man. I make Clint.
Yeah,
dude.
Lee Majors. We know these old ass motherfuckers. We know these old bastards because we was watching TV as a family. It wasn't no. You know, you got your TV in this room. You can watch what you want. Yep. Then, like back then, remember, y'all, TV had dignity. It went the fuck off. It didn't stay on. You know, when that national anthem come on, what's about to happen? It's about to be snow for the next.
Yeah, TV's changing. They're gonna make you pay for everything now. Cause everybody talk about streaming service. You had to pay for them. And this one lady got a lawsuit against Amazon. You know how you buy those movies and you think those you just buying a license for temporary. That's why I go buy the Blu-rays and DVDs.
Yeah, that's how you gotta do it. Because you only got them as long as you deal with them. They'll always let you as long as you come back to them. But if you leave them, you left that. Now, if you come back to them, you still got it. You just gotta prove who the fuck you are. I learned that years ago, Harv. Guess how I learned? I bought somebody kept trying to convince me to buy an artist that I like music on Amazon. I was like, nah, I just wait for the CD. They like it's quicker. It'll be here right now. It'll be right on your phone. I said, man. But it'll be on my phone. It ain't gonna be on my. They was like, no, you can Bluetooth. So they taught me the Bluetooth and auxiliary cords and all of that. I buy the joint. I realized I gotta pay for Amazon every month. At that time, I was super cheap. I ain't paying them shit, so I wasn't gonna pay every month. I cut the service off. I'm like, well, I still got that album. They like, shit. No, you don't. No, the fuck you don't. You don't got a damn thing. You ain't with us. Yeah. I was like, ain't that a bitch? So I had to resubscribe with them. And when I did, I had to prove who I was. And when I did that, they gave it back to me.
Wow. Well, I tell you this, I'm at to cut one of these services because for the longest time, I did not know Amazon Prime had those TV shows, right? And one day I said, all this time I could have been watching some of my favorite shows. I refuse to get Peacock. Peacock crazy. I ain't paying that kind of money to watch shit. They crazy. I got Netflix, but I think I'm gonna get rid of them. And now Disney and Hulu gonna merge in the first of the year. You pay.
Hey, look. I was ready to say that. So since Disney and Hulu gonna merge, and I got both of them. They gotta give me some money for one of them.
Yeah, they're
Because
gonna have
one of them don't exist no
they
more.
won't exist. And I don't know if you have this problem. Like every few months, they lock my ass out, and I have to re-put my code back in.
Yeah. My shit is I always gotta change the password.
Yeah,
I called them one time. I told him, I said, man, I'm getting old. I can't remember all these fucking passwords.
I have to write passwords down. I have to get creative, man. I have to be thinking
Right.
about dead people in my life, man. People I went to school with to come up with codes, man.
Yeah.
I can't remember because
No, I used to do that too, but the fucked up thing about that, Harv, once you do that, right? Then the next day, the next time you gotta remember what the code is, you cannot for the life of you remember what the fuck you was thinking about the day you made the code.
Yeah.
You was like, well, who was I thinking about? Then you go through, you're like, what the hell? Then it'd be one day you in the.
They lock you out because they said too many tries and shit.
Mm-hmm.
See,
so
brothers and sisters, I see y'all hearing two brothers who basically, you was born with 77, I'm born 76. We grew up doing the same damn thing. We in different states and basically the same shit.
Yep.
Trust me.
So
I say that we as black folk need to communicate more. Because y'all be surprised how much we got in common.
Got way more in common. The only thing we don't have in common is fucking location, and shit, that was never gonna happen unless we was in the same house anyway.
Exactly.
So niggas gotta put that shit to the side. Well, Harv, I gotta let you go eat, man. Thank you for chopping it up with me, man.
Hey, yeah,
we definitely gotta do it again, man.
We got to get Lisa and all of them, man. I would love to do one with all y'all, you know what I mean? But
yeah, I tried to send her one, but I think she was doing her videos today. I seen she was going live like the same time we was. So,
but before we go, I'm gonna shout out. If y'all like to donate to me, go to Cash App $HL1974. That's Cash App $HL1974. But once again, brother, this brought back a lot of memories, man. This has been a while since we did this.
Hell yeah, man. Well, it's always a pleasure, Harv. Thank you for blessing us again, man. And we gotta do this soon, man. Go on and get you some grub, and I'll holler at you, bro.
Okay, y'all have a good one.
Peace.
Peace.